Is it totally silent for you? If so, then no, it's not supposed to be silent. I had to figure out why that's happening.
Pour me another cup.
Do you hear this? Hold on, let me start this song now. Do you hear this song now?
You're worried you may not be perfect. I'm worried I may not be worth it.
It's really funny to think I was just sitting here silently putting words on the screen, vibing to this song, and none of y'all can hear
I'm
it.
worried I may not be worth it. You don't need a reason, you don't need to know why. I'm so pleased to meet ya. Pour me another cup of whatever you got, whatever you got.
Yeah, this is
Have I always been so desperate?
This is a demo still.
You're worried you may not be perfect. I'm worried I may not be worth it. You're worried you may not be perfect. I'm worried I may not be worth it. You don't need a reason, you don't need to know why. I'm so pleased to meet you. Pour me another cup, whatever you got, whatever you got.
Why have I always been so desperate? 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 Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Sarah says, "Fuck it, I'm a fix the vocals for this tomorrow." Yeah, I figured I just had to remind you that the song exists. Every once in a while, I remember that one of my songs exists, and then I'm like, "Oh shit, what state is this song in?" And then I find the producer and shake them down. First Trixie video I ever watched was Your Anime Sucks SAO2. How much would that cost? A lot, but don't worry, we might get there. I don't know how far I'm gonna go tonight. I don't know if I want to do them in order. I don't know how to approach this. I've got over 6,000 videos on YouTube. Like, between this channel, what is currently still known as the Branches of Yig channel, because I haven't figured out it. I have not even tried to do anything with that channel. I'm like, it's too much fucking baggage. But holy moly, mother of a fuck, have I made a lot of motherfucking YouTube videos. I recently filled up my so if those of you who are YouTube user page users, people who actually go to pages, probably are aware that I always have at the very top of my page a playlist called Every YouTube Video Featuring the Golden Witch. This, you can see here, it says 4,999 videos. I recently cleared some videos out to make more room because I have multiple times hit this cap, and then usually I'll just clear out a bunch of rants that I'm like, nobody needs to fucking see these, so I'll go back and just, at some point, maybe I'll make a second playlist and I'll have like all the, like a true every single one, because this playlist goes back to some really old stuff. And like the main reason it exists is to catalog stuff that like there's no way I'd be able to find again if I didn't have it in this playlist. But like all the rants, I don't fucking care. I don't need to get back. I will never need to see those again. I don't need to remember them personally. But and when I say rants, I mean specifically the Patreon rants that I did, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of. But yeah, between all the channels, it's a lot. Indeed. I was the human content machine. I think I still am pretty much making as much, if not more, content as ever before. Because the live streams are fucking long, so I probably do actually, like, in terms of sheer length, more content now than ever before. But it's just different categories of content. So to explain this here, this I've sorted the channel by oldest. These are not the oldest videos on this channel, nor are they the oldest videos I've posted on YouTube by a long shot, because of course my oldest channel is Modal Soul Productions, which was originally called Tycall Ultimate. You see that the is Tycall Ultimate because my original internet username was Tycall Ultimate. And when I say original, I mean OG, like 11 years old. Tycall was the main character of a video game I wanted to make called Puzzling. That was basically just Zelda, Ocarina of Time, but with a character named Tycall Ultimate. Well, the Ultimate was just because Tycall was often taken online, because unbeknownst to me, that's also the name of Method Man's first album. I did not know that when I chose the name. I just thought it sounded cool. It's possible someone had said the name to me, like said the name of Method Man's album to me, and that I had heard it and not, like, forgotten. But these are the oldest videos on my channel, from fucking 17 years ago, according to themselves. We're not going this far back because there's really no need. We could go back to Adventure Action RPG, because this is this is literally when I decided I'm going to try to do YouTube as like a career thing. This is me deciding YouTube is going to be my future. So this is where I'm the most interested in checking in, because most of this stuff was just comedy, like weird comedy sketch videos. Actually, you know what? Let's watch Fizz Dragon. This will give you a good sense. This was like a cool project. A lot of the videos from back then where me and Victor would just do videos for school projects. So I think this was Victor had a school project where he had to do a commercial for a fake energy drink and like come up with an energy drink and do a fake commercial for it. So this is the Fizz Dragon commercial. Victor and our friend Brando. Both of them are like, Victor's at least twice the size now that he is in this Victor video, and Brando's like 6 times the size now that he is in this video. In muscle, I mean. There's me, but it's Victor dubbing over me. And I think I was filming in the other shots.
Dragon! Dragon!
Victor's probably like 17 or 18. Maybe he just started college. I'm not sure. I'm probably like 20, 19 or 20.
Dragon, the ultimate energy.
Okay, yeah. Kind of racist a little bit, but otherwise I think it holds up in its intent. So I had a brief stint of using this channel for like, so it started with, like, again, comedy sketch videos, and I've seen all of these like hundreds of times. It's the reason I'm not interested in revisiting these. Like, I used to, like, I edited all of these and then I would watch them a lot because I really enjoyed them. So like they're all pretty deep into my head. I don't feel I would get much out of revisiting them. Maybe you would. Some of them are funny, kind of. But you know, it's just very like nonsense shitpost humor. You know, inspired by, I mean, this was 2007, 2008 YouTube, so very early YouTube. And then right here is when Trial of the Golden Witch became a thing, which originally was like this is like a mockumentary. Unfortunately, we would watch this, but the audio is so fucking quiet you cannot hear like any of it. But it's me and my friend Marcus and Victor, and we're all and Brandon. We're all named after characters from Umineko. Oh God. And so like we had made this improv album, and then the idea was that we were doing a behind the scenes on the improv album explaining each of the songs, but it's just like nonsense basically. So that's when Trial of the Golden Witch started. So there's a bunch of videos, like just goofy ass music videos for Trial of the Golden Witch here.
Breakfast, I mean, it's about self-sufficiency. You gotta make your own breakfast, you know, the cereal, the milk. Done. Your life's complete. You're done. Just be yourself and be who you are, and you'll just glide right through life, you know.
It wouldn't be beatboxing. Okay, never mind. You beatboxing. Well, if you got some bad. You can't play a
So in this case, it would be like, I think this is our friend, another friend of ours named Arn playing the guitar. Victor's doing the yo-yo vocals, and I'm doing that beatboxing.
I like yo.
I think.
Yo. Jingles. I like yo. Jingles. I like yo. I like bagels.
I'm sure that like I'm doing that like this, like just totally like spazzing the fuck out somewhere in the room. These were all recorded through like a laptop. Like, no, actually, this album was on a Blue microphone. That dude Arn had a Blue mic, you know, the brand Blue, a Snowball. So I think the very first Trial of the Golden Witch improv album was recorded on a Snowball mic, and then the rest of it was recorded through a computer built-in microphone, up until the point that I bought my own microphone to start making more professional of YouTube videos.
Wow.
Now I'll do it like some corn shit. I actually really, really like that. This was my favorite Shumbo Galay lyrics video. You're gonna see you're gonna learn some new words. Oh yeah, so on this one I'm Mr. Wolf. So this is like, I don't remember if it was before, or actually I think it was before Trial of the Golden Witch. I had released a few experimental songs under the name Mr. Wolf, which was in reference to Tokyo Akazukin, which is like the most fucked up manga of all time. Because it's about evil Little Red Riding Hood trying to get the wolf to come eat her, and she does things like, God damn you, show me that panel. Yeah, she could just like split herself in half and turn into a giant mouth and eat your ass and shit. So she's crazy, and she also has a lot of sex in this comic, and it's wild. It's a lot of sex and death. And she basically wants Mr. Wolf to eat her, and then in the end she realizes she is Mr. Wolf and she's got to eat herself or something like that. So anyways, that's why I was using this name. For it was either Mr. Wolf or George, or not George, or Kinzo. I was either Kinzo or Mr. Wolf in the early Trial of the Golden Witch days, where we all had Umineko names. Marcus was George, Victor was Battler. Those are the only ones who really like I kept up a name scheme with. All right, Brandon Tolentino is canon, of course. Canon. This is Mount Trashmore, by the way. We're like running up Mount Trashmore. Look how fucking long my hair was. Sounds like that one Frusciante ad lib or album is so fucking funny actually, because I think on this song was still on the album that our friend Arn was playing guitar, playing leads, but Brandon Tolentino is like a huge fan of John Frusciante, and he would play one of the Untitled songs that goes like bloom doom bleedoo boo doom bleedoo, like that lick. He would play that lick all the fucking time. He was obsessed with that lick. Well, anyway, that was Shambogale. I feel like we've gotten through the important part of that. So yeah, these are like the super early. This one's like me in the bathroom, the whole video. Super early. So then here's where the Brony era started. I'm gonna have to see myself. I look like I'm balding, and I'm not even balding.
Gonna get to the Martha, we're gonna stop. Go run in that dress, I can barely hang. Don't know what to do, better check the plane. Tuck it out of the dress, my fashion easy.
All right, literally too cringe for me to handle. But yeah, you know, I was rhyming and shit. I was trying to learn the Brony raps. So, at some point, I found out that you could make money on YouTube, and I was like, what if I did what I do as a blogger, but as a
That sounds
YouTuber?
about right for me. Another interesting thing is that at the beginning of the game, you choose what class you're going to play. However, throughout the game, you will meet characters in each of the other classes, and you're allowed to switch between them by going to the bar and talking to one of the women there.
It's funny how I sound kind of like adorable in this video. In a lot of these old videos, I sound like I'm doing like a really affected deep voice. So this is probably actually, even in this video, my voice changes because I know I started off recording this like at night, and I think this was when I still had friends like living in my room at the time. So it was like I was trying to be really quiet.
Adventure. Action. Show about action RPGs. My name is Digibro, and while I've been playing action RPGs for...
By the way, I would have been Digibro for like less than 6 months at this point. I had been 21st Century Digital Boy from like late 2006 until early 2012. And then like start of 2012, it was kind of like, it's a new year. I'm going to shorten my name down to Digibro, you know?
quite some time. Only recently did I become completely enamored with them and decide to go on an adventure to find all of the best ones and then talk about them. Now, some of you may be thinking, hey, doesn't this show look a lot like Zero Punctuation with the colors inverted? Well, that's pretty much where I got the idea for the visuals. However, this show is going to be nothing.
Joshua Wiley says, with $6, hard to find videos in my budget to ask for, but the Crunchyroll stop one is short and has a lot of views. React to that one, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's do it. Because that is a video that I've apologized for in another video, actually. Let's see how I feel about this in
White ass.
retrospect. So, like, the reason this video happened is that Crunchyroll put out a Crunchyroll had put out a behind the scenes making of High Guardian Spice, where they announced it as like, we're doing original anime now, and like the way they staged the video was like it could not help but feel like they were trying deliberately to play into like culture war paradigms of the time, because there's like a moment where they're talking about how they have a very diverse writer's room, and it shows an image of literally a room of like nothing but white women in it. And it was like, wait, hold on. You know, like it was strange. It was just like a moment in time where people were very volatile about the idea of if the fucking term DEI had been popular at the time, they would have been calling it a DEI anime. Like, unquestionably, that would have been the branding that they were using on this show. Obviously woke, but it's beyond woke. It was like, you know, and it's unfortunate because like the reality of High Guardian Spice is that Ray Rodriguez, who is a trans man, like created the characters in the show out of just legitimate passion for like making characters. You know, it's just like some characters that Ray came up with, like, and got the opportunity to make a show. Probably just like hired on all of his friends, you know, like people who like whatever connections were available, happens to be a bunch of ladies, you know. But like the way Crunchyroll ended up marketing it as like, look at this great thing, we've got this this all women, you know, all this anime, but unlike those Japanese anime that are a bunch of tits and shows written by men, look at our writer's room of all women giving you what looks like Tumblr art, you know. Objectively, it looks like Tumblr art. That's not even an insult. I'm fine with Tumblr art, but like that's what it looks like. So like it was the wrong look for the moment for Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll had so many issues as a platform that I and many other people were already upset with. When the controversy happened around this show, I was not interested. I was like, whatever, you know, like this is predictable culture war, you know, stuff. But like that day, there were videos that had like 300,000 views within a couple hours, you know? So my ex, she very much encouraged me to jump on it. She was like, because at the time I was doing a video every day for all of August, basically trying to jump my Patreon back up, which didn't really work. It worked a little bit. It didn't work as well as I thought it would. It was like I had moved to Boston. I had lost a shitload of money moving to Boston. So I was desperately trying to get my Patreon. I was desperately trying to get the Patreon back up. And like I had made this like arrangement or like a bet against my own patrons, like that I could make a satisfying video every single day for a whole month. And if I succeeded, like, you know, consider raising your pledge. Whether or not each video was satisfying ended up being its own politics, you know. But this was just literally every day. This was like 19 days in to be desperately looking for things to talk about and make a whole video that is satisfying every day all month. Just a dumb idea. Don't ever do this to yourself. Don't do dumb shit like this. I don't know why we kept glorifying this back in the day. Like me and Nate were so proud of ourselves for like doing a video every day all month. Just where's like, somebody edit in that clip in your mind? Just stop. You know that clip? Just stop it. You know. Anyway, like I'm saying this like I don't live stream literally every day, but I'm just saying you can put yourself in a mental trap very easily by being like, I have to make a video every day all month and it has to be at a certain quality level. And it's like, you're just going to hurt yourself. I promise. So, and this was my second time doing that, by the way. My first time was in like October. It's Michael Jordan saying, stop it, get some help. Yeah, thank you, Shade. I had first done this in October 2014, and that time I had bet against my own family members, and I had won like I won like $100 between everybody who bet against me that I could make a video every day all month, and so nobody was going to bet against me again within my own group of friends. But I thought maybe the audience will consider betting against me. They did not. But anyway, so yeah. Again, midway through this month, there's suddenly this controversy about High Guardian Spice, and my then fiance was like, jump on it. And I was like, okay, I'll use this as a springboard to just talk about everything wrong with Crunchyroll. And that way this video will have more longevity. Because my biggest concern was that like nobody's going to care about this in 1 week. So if this video doesn't succeed, it will be like a total fucking waste of time, you know, like if this video isn't something that still can be referenced years later, and it also doesn't get a bunch of views, then it's going to suck. Luckily, I didn't have to worry about that because it got 1 million views like immediately within that week. I think it had 1 million views. So it was, I don't think it was the biggest video complaining about High Guardian Spice either. Like there was a lot of people. Most of the videos were a lot longer than mine, and most of them were a lot more culturally culture war than mine. You know, most of them were a lot more pissed off at what the show represented. Again, I was mostly pissed off at Crunchyroll and kind of using the show as an excuse, but that didn't stop people from saying that I was like a Nazi for making this video. So, you know, whatever. I've apologized for it.
Dear Crunchyroll, stop fucking around and just give me goddamn anime.
Yeah, I mean, that was literally the public sentiment. This was me just like literally preaching to the choir. I knew exactly what people wanted to hear when it came to Crunchyroll.
Why do I have to look at football players and a bunch of white-ass normie E-list wannabe actors talk?
I'm glad I decided to take a shot at white people right out the gate, though. I feel like that maybe is overlooked by the people. I don't know. I guess it's fascist to not like white people also, but
about Attack on fucking Titan every time I click on your website.
Oh God, wait, that guy. No,
Why
I'm not
does the
going to
money
make fun of how somebody looks.
which you make
but
such a
that one
big
dude's
deal out of
face.
going to the anime industry seem to be getting funneled into a convention and an American animation production so blatantly pandering to Western trends that to even consider it anime inspired is kind of a laugh.
Yeah, no, that's not true. That's not fair. It's definitely obviously anime.
I know literally everyone and their grandma has pointed this out.
Everyone and their grandma that I put the old lady on screen. That is dirty work. I don't even know if that was intentional or if that was totally just like it's
Already, by the way, but bragging about having.
There's Ray. So Ray created this show and has not gotten the opportunity to create another show since, and I feel bad because it's not Ray's fault that this culture war killed this show. The show's fine. I made a whole review of it where I was like, the show's like a strong 6 to a light 7, like a pretty decent kids show. Like if I watched it when I was a kid, I think I would have really liked it, you know.
Having a diverse staff, and then also
I don't think it would have been my favorite, but I would have definitely enjoyed it.
About having a writer's room, and
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it as an adult, but I also, when I watched a show that I think I would have like enjoyed more when I was younger, I always kind of feel like I like in the experience, like in order to enjoy it, I have to like regress back to that mindset a little bit to be like, oh yeah, I remember having this level of like worldly understanding, you know,
entirely composed of similar looking.
Yeah, I mean, calling it diverse while you're showing a picture. Like the hair colors are diverse.
white
but
women makes the opposite of sense. But more importantly than any of that, how
they
in
really,
the
they really fucked up the optics on that.
flying fuck is it possible that your video player still uses Flash? Flash is literally shutting down. The other day, someone sent me a plugin that transforms the Crunchy.
Yeah, this was where I really was like, because I think I said the other day, I feel like I had been using this for some time because they updated this shit not too long after I made the video. And they gave a whole excuse about how, like, oh, we were going to roll it out next season anyways, but we had to like expedite it and it actually caused lots of problems for us. And it's like, good. That was the point of the journalism, is to make you make better consumer decisions. Why were we going to have to wait a fucking season for something that you have? They tried to make it out like, oh, we hadn't ironed all the bugs out, but yet you did within like a week of being pressured to do so. All it took was pressure. This is why consumer reporting is important.
Crunchyroll player to work on HTML5, and it's so much more functional as to be laughable. It loads faster and more consistently, seeking is way easier, and most importantly, you can rewind to the 000 mark. Did you know you can't fucking do that by default?
This drove me insane. Keep in mind, I've been using Crunchyroll since it was an illegal site that you had to pay for in order to full screen the video. So I have no respect for this as a business.
Yet Crunchyroll's brilliant video player will remember your place in an episode literally forever. So if you watched a show 5 years ago and skipped the ending theme after the first 2 episodes because you were marathoning it, then when you come back to rewatch it, the video auto plays at the ED, and you can't fucking put it back at the beginning because you can't goddamn click on the 000 mark, and there's no restart button. Not to mention, when you do watch the episode all the way through,
This is a great time capsule of how fucking broken Crunchyroll's player was. Like, nobody was talking about this. Nobody was pointing out how bad it was in like a mainstream video. I'm glad that, again, I feel bad about High Guardian Spice being like the sacrifice on the altar of this video. Like, everything I say about Crunchyroll was so accurate, and that's the real reason it's so successful. The High Guardian Spice was just a thumbnail. It was literally just a thumbnail for this video.
It autoplays the next one, but if you have it full screened, then there's no way to escape during the needless 5-second episode transition, meaning that even if you wanted to click on the next episode manually so that you aren't waiting in silence for 5 seconds, or just to get off the episode page before the next one starts because you're done watching, you're trapped. There's a stupid ass watermark at the top of the screen.
I love the little like breath there, like the, like, like I took a sip between takes or something and then just went right back full intensity.
Every single time you start up an episode, reminding you that this stream is exclusively for you. And a glitch where if you...
Did you notice also, I don't remember if I'm going to point this out, but you couldn't change your fucking username. So my name was still 2007 Digital Boy on Crunchyroll in 2018. 11 years later.
If you pause the video,
because before I came up with Digibro and I was 21st Century Digital Boy, you cannot fit that whole name on most places. So I would use the current year and then I would update it every year. But you couldn't update your username on Crunchyroll
for long enough, it won't play again unless you reload the page. The translations are all cranked out so fast that they're full of typos and minor inaccuracies, which wouldn't be so bad if someone went back through and corrected them, but they never do. The same spelling errors can...
Yeah, that's probably still a problem. Nobody goes back and QCs the subtitles later. Like, I understand them having errors if you're trying to beat a deadline, but why is there nobody going back to QC them if archive is like the main way people are going to see the content?
Can still be found on episodes uploaded half a decade ago. Not to mention, because of their
now they use AI closed captions for their English dub captions. Weak.
Pants-shitting cowardice on getting into copyright drama, they made JoJo basically unwatchable by changing all the musical reference character names. One of my favorite things about
this I've been told is not like it's not like their fault, I guess. I don't know.
Theories into random made up bullshit, even though you can literally hear the characters saying the correct names in the
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. That's the part that drives me insane is like you're hearing them say the words and the subtitles just saying something completely fucking different. And it's like, okay, but that's not what they're saying though. Like I can tell that's not what they're saying.
audio. This year,
Like,
Crunchyroll
even a little
Expo is
bit.
featuring Barack Obama as a guest.
Then this was just me getting personal. I had to get my get back on Barack Obama. And he like within the day canceled his appearance at Crunchyroll Expo. Within the day of this video coming out, Barack Obama canceled his weekend plans changed because of this video.
Twitter meme lord who leads large-scale harassment campaigns against people he doesn't like.
Which is the same thing I could say about what he had done to me. So this is an effective get back. I got exactly what I wanted, which was to change this motherfucker's weekend the same way he had done to mine like 6 months prior or so.
Such as me, who got attacked for the standpoint of defending lolly fan service, something he is adamantly against in spite of constantly pimping his sponsorships with sites like Crunchyroll, which itself hosts anime like fucking Arrow Manga Sensei. If you think it's okay for Crunchyroll to host a guest who incited his fan base to send death threats and pedophilia accusations at my Twitter en masse for days on end on the basis of supporting a type of media which they themselves propagate, then by all means, keep giving them your money. Oh, but Digibro, don't you care about supporting the industry? Frankly, no. I don't
Fuck
really
'em.
care about propping up the bad habits of idiotic corporations as they slowly eat themselves, nor am I
Yeah. Still pretty much my stance.
is so utterly delusional as to think that giving $7 a month to an American company so they can split it amongst the 30 or so production committees of all the different shows I might watch in a month after taking a cut for themselves to produce Tumblr the anime is going to service the industry in any way. Let half of these fuckers fold and see if they don't start rushing to find a more consumer-friendly monetization paradigm in a matter of days. Fuck Crunchyroll.
No, they just leave the industry. They just give up and turn tail and die. That's usually what actually happens. They don't find any solutions. They just suck and then they evaporate. That video, aside from playing it, and I don't even think anything I said in that is wrong, so it's hard for me to be too upset with the video itself. I just feel bad about the fact that High Guardian Spice did not deserve all the smoke as a show. It only deserved smoke in the way that Crunchyroll was presenting it to the world. It didn't even fucking exist yet and wouldn't for like 3 more years, I think it took before they actually pushed that one out. Oh, man. The optics were indeed catastrophic for Crunchyroll. And I'm pretty sure that video also got me blacklisted from the industry forever. Like, that was me coming out in a way that was basically like, I mean, especially the part where I say, don't you care about supporting the industry? No. That pretty much solidified they were never going to give me another call. I was never getting that call back again. You know, like there was never going to be the industry scouts trying to invite me to the conventions again. That was that was the nuclear option there. Genuinely surprised Trigger did it. Let me read this real quick. Mopu said, a big problem is that I think most Japanese folks in the industry probably view crowdfunding as shameful and like giving up, so they never do it. Genuinely surprised Trigger did it. Even beyond the social level, they're just like not allowed. Like they're like, because of the way that the committees are like when you go into making the show, you start off deciding who's getting paid what, and like the money coming in afterwards, it doesn't like trickle. You know, like the animators don't have partial ownership. They should, in my opinion. I think everybody who draws on the show should own a percentage and get like fucking eternal dividends off of that, the way that authors do, and people, you know, almost any other fucking creative industry. But you know, they don't. So like it's hard for them to organize a way where the animators can collect a pay outside of the paradigm that already exists without pissing off, like, basically the production committees just say, well, that's our money too. You know, like, any money you make off the show is our money. You can't just give it to the animators at the studio. You know, like, they're just not going to let that happen. In the case of Trigger, like, as I understand it, the dude who was their translator, I don't know if they're still doing this, where because Trigger was going to American conventions constantly, and they had this dude, I don't remember his name, somebody could probably remember in chat, who was always there translating. He was like their intern guy, and he was like running a lot of the social media and basically just creating this like identity of Trigger as this, like, you know, recognizable entity as an animation studio, which is not really commonplace in the industry. People don't know studios like that. You know, people don't recognize like the names of the people who are, they're not like, there's not other studios that are known for going to conventions all the time, you know, sending their top talent to every goddamn American con. But Trigger was doing that, and a lot of it was because of that dude making it possible. And from what I understand, he was the one who got he was the advocate for the Patreon existing, but they were only able to get it to exist for like very specific purposes of, like, I don't know, I think they're allowed to like buy materials for the studio with the money or something like that. You know, like, they can't pay people with it type shit. As I understand, this is all things I learned second, third, tertiary, you know. There's no article I can source on this. In fact, I think a lot of it is shit I know from Econ, just because he talked to that guy, the translator guy, directly. Tatoon, yes, thank you. That's the guy. Tatoon, I think he was the one who like was advocating for the Patreon existing. And like, the younger generation of people in the industry understand the internet and how it works, but they just have no power to affect anything within it, you know? It really requires like old people who are already overtasked to do their job as they understand it. So they're not trying to learn like a whole new fucking paradigm, and, you know, they got kids to take care of. They're just trying to draw the fucking pictures and, and buy dinner, you know? It's tough out there. Let's listen to some sad, thirsty old pony videos. Note, I was very drunk at every stage of making this video. That's when a video starts off with a warning about how drunk you were when you made it. I'm already worried. It also, the noise in the background is from a So Great and Powerful song. I don't know where they sampled it from, but for the past couple of years, I've considered myself to be decidedly unromantic, though I'm also very impressionable, so it's I do sound extra lesbian in this video, so that's appropriate. Possible that I just haven't read anything romantic in quite a while. This seems likely since the last romance story I even remember liking was Girlfriends, which I read in 2010. The fact that both that and this are lesbian fics about cartoon characters should reveal a few of my biases right off the bat. When I bother to write a romance, I mean, am I just saying I'm biased? Like, that's such an odd way of phrasing that sentence. Why not just say I'm biased towards lesbian romance in cartoons? Why did I phrase it in such a backwards way? That's how I feel about a lot of my old writing. It's just like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but you said it all backwards. They always represent lovers as halves of a whole. And I've got to say, it's been a long time since I've longed for anything like that myself. Actually, Vinyl and Octavia University days doesn't make me lonely. I seem to have outgrown any anxiety over my... I probably thought it'd be funny or sounds charming. I really think it was more just that's how I think. I tend to have to reorganize my thoughts into the correct order to get them right. And I'm only good at it now through practice, where like I found my own writing too confusing, particularly back in the Brony days. Like, because the audience I was writing to was much younger than me. You know, I was like 21, probably 21 or 22 when I made this video. So I was expecting it to be like high schoolers at the oldest that were like very likely to be in my audience. That's why my character was very clean at first. And then I got really tired of the younger people in my audience and I made the character way grungier and tried to scare them away. And it worked. It scared away a lot. Like all the really obnoxious, like really young people like left the audience when I stopped being really clean about it. This video is like on the borderline. This is like almost like an unclean video. It's like weird that it like I'm like drunk and talking about a university romance story fan fiction. Usually this kind of thing would have been on the After Dark channel because maybe After Dark didn't exist yet. But it existed for a long time, so I don't know. I'll have to look at the dates. Let's compare them. This was February 11th. This is Victor's birthday in 2013. When did I create? All right, I'm going to be triggered by what I see when I go to this channel right away because I unlisted or relisted a bunch of previously unlisted videos on the channel at some point. Okay, so... Pony Hypnosis Project. This was the true start of this. February 21st. Okay, it didn't exist yet. So probably what happened was I made this video and thought like, maybe I should put this like somewhat more adult content on another channel. I can easily see that being the case. Me being like, maybe this is a little bit much for the My Little Pony channel. When did this get posted up here? February 18th. So yeah, this was also afterwards. So literally a week after I made this video, I started up the After Dark channel. So I'm thinking that the thought process was like, if I'm going to talk about all these like more adult aspects of the fandom, I need to do it somewhere that's not my like mostly kid friendly, episodic review of the show.
A lonely, sexless existence. Perhaps because I'm
especially when I'm talking about having a lonely, sexless existence.
too wrapped up in living my life as a postmodern art piece, and because, honestly, my friends provide more than enough companionship. The pain of reading Vinyl and
My friends provide more than enough companionship. Gay!
Octavia is one of vicariously enjoying their romance way too much. In the later chapters, when they start thinking in
Chapters. My southern accent started slipping through there.
entire paragraphs about one another's smallest movements, I often have to pause reading and punch myself in the chest.
I do sound way more southern in old videos as well. And I had never known that until, I think I've told this story before, but like playing Xbox Live when I was like 14, I think. I was playing Gears of War. And somebody asked, like, where are you from? And I was like, Virginia. And they went, no wonder you sound like a southern faggot. And I was just like, I sound southern? Like, I had no idea I sounded southern. He could have just been, I really was like, do I? Or is he just saying that? Like, is he just picking, like, well, now that I know you're from the South, I think you sound southern. Or do I really sound that southern? And then, like, going back to my old videos, I'm like, no, I can hear it. I can tell. I do sound like a southern faggot, actually.
So that my heart will stop fluttering.
I used to say talk and during with an accent I could never place, even now they don't sound southern. I don't know what it is. It's not being someone who spoke for a very long time and then started talking a lot at some point. Talk, walk, calk. Like, I just put a lot of L in it. I only recently finally started saying iron the way everybody else does instead of iron. Literally in these old videos, people complained about my pronunciation so fucking much. There's a ton of words that I've learned how to say because I got burned so hard by my audience. Like the embracing girliness video where I say femininity about 100 times, not knowing it's femininity. So yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of pronunciations that I got made fun of in these old videos.
When I got to the sex scene, I had to down a beer just to hold myself together.
What kind of human being am I?
And it took a few more to write this review. Vinyl and Octavia University Days is like
like the pony's winking at me like I'm supposed to know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Perfection on the conceptual level unfolding before me. Every time a plot element is introduced, a little man stands up in my head and screams, yes, out of sheer satisfaction that Dawn could give me exactly what I want out of a romance story. All of the satisfaction and none of the bullshit. All of the depth and thought with all of the charm and appeal. The verbiage
All of the depth and thought with all of the charm and appeal. I think I'm trying to say it's like a Kendrick Lamar song or something.
is cheeky as fuck, and I love every sentence of it. Aria fans will know what I mean when I start screaming, embarrassing remarks are not allowed
That was adorable.
at the fic. I am in love with the vinyl that is in love with the Octavia that is in love with the vinyl that I am in love with.
I'll accept that.
And the same goes for Octavia. Even the Lyra and Bonbon subplot couldn't be handled with more fucking class if it were written by a monocle. So
Oh my god, that is such a Yahtzee Croshaw thing to say, but it's pretty good. It couldn't have been written with more class if it was written. It couldn't have been handled with more class if it was written by a fucking monocle.
So here I am, downing drinks so I can pass out in the road.
How old is this?
And I'll cry myself to sleep if Octavia never comes
Um,
for me. Shit, I'm crying already. As to the subject of
no.
dramatic
God,
readings,
this
I
is
just
the
don't
saddest
know.
video
I
I've ever
expect that I'll
seen.
hate
and
anything I
it's
try
so
and that I'll
vague.
never get it done. And now that I've written this, it might just satisfy.
The whole video is just like, this comic is so good, I'm fucking crying, man. I'm fucking losing my shit. I wish I was a fucking lesbian horse. Instead, I'm gonna fucking die. Like, Jesus Christ.
me until a new chapter comes out. When that happens, we'll see.
Okay, there's a lot going on in these end cards. It took me a long time to figure out that people do not read YouTube videos, especially at the end. Like, I was always, because of the fact that Yahtzee Croshaw would always have jokes at the end of his videos, I was used to reading end card text at the end of videos. So I would always put notes. And on this case, there would have been annotations. Unfortunately, YouTube has taken annotations away. So these would have been annotated links. One to the song, which is the so great and powerful song Sofas and Quills, which itself is simultaneously a song retelling an episode of the show and referencing one of the blogs that, like one of the old Pony OC art blogs that had a really cool style back in the day. And then Crepuscular Bronies Discuss was a episodic review of the show podcast that I guested on. I'm sure the episodes I'm on are deep in the every YouTube video featuring Trixie playlist, like at the very bottom. I don't even know if YouTube will actually load you all the way to the bottom of that fucking playlist, but that's where you'll probably find these. And then Games Ponies Play, that would be the latest episode I would have covered. Or that we would have covered. So this would have been a link to the Crepuscular Bronies discussing Games Ponies Play, the episode, which would have been like towards the end of season 3, I think, which was basically my career started by covering season 3 semi-episodically as it went. And then here we've got Brony Curious, who later became Tom Oliver, who now is another name. I don't even know what it is now, on the Brony doc and Fighting is Magic. So I'm just linking to a Brony Curious video I like, probably because I was mad gay I wanted Brony Curious to be my my Octavia or something. I don't know. This is the gayest video I maybe have ever created, and I've made some gay videos. Okay, wait, hold on. Snowman8 gave us a super chat of $5. I love MLP. I know the pony fatigue is big, but if you watch it for the first time now, plus the new fan content without having seen it, it'd be a 10. I am very interested in returning to this show for its... I don't know if you all realize that this show's about to turn 15 years old this year. I was late to this show. I didn't get into it until 2012, and the fan base was already well established. But this show ran from October 10th, 2010 to October 12th, 2019. So it was like 9 straight year run. I missed another super chat. Oh shit, you're right. The Masked Homo with $5 requesting you react to the video about the time you and your friends beat up Ethan Ralph. Oh yes, okay. I had read that and then forgot about it because I was watching that other video. Okay. Ethan Ralph shortcomings. I think that's still what it's called. X content. It's not on what the wait, no. Come on. Ethan Ralph Trixie. There we go. Yeah, why didn't this come up first? I don't know. Don't know why they didn't come up. Well, you only paid $5 and the rate is $1.50 a minute. So we will watch 3 minutes, I guess, of this.
Yo.
Fucking bird. Hold on, I want to watch that again. That's pretty hot.
Yo.
Boom.
Do I look 5'1", bitch?
Do I look 5'1", bitch?
You are 5'1". Do I look 5'1", bitch? 5'1".
Bitch. Bitch.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation.
How did I do this edit if I did this? Oh, right. We had a green screen in the house at the time, so we filmed this on a
You
green
deserve a
screen.
rest, Vizzy. I'll explain what's going on. 6 months ago, my ex-fiance cheated on me with infamously short-tempered
Infamously
internet streamer Ethan Ralph,
short-tempered.
and then admitted it while he was over at my house to explain that his then 18-year-old
Sad times.
girlfriend no longer spent
I
her
forgot
nights
she was
drinking
so
with him
young
because
at
she
the
had
time.
become pregnant. The next morning, my ex-fiance and her father came
Holy
to the house to
moly.
collect as much of her stuff as could fit in their car, and her dad stole my Nintendo Switch.
Blah,
6 months later,
blah,
as my
blah.
housemates,
Get him again,
seen
man.
here kicking
You
the
got
shit
him.
out of a dwarf planet called Ethan Ralph,
A
and I
dwarf
were
planet.
preparing to move.
His fucking pants are coming off like hardcore. I'm surprised his pants stayed on. This video would have been, if his pants had come all the way off, this video would have fucking millions of views. If his pants could have just come a little bit farther down, if anybody had realized, if one of them had realized that his pants were so close to being off, this video would have millions of fucking views.
We asked her to come get the rest of her stuff. When she came in,
Look at how close it
court date,
was.
though, she demanded that my boyfriend Bird, housemate Riley, and I vacate the house
I forgot about Riley having like the purple hair and everything too.
while she and Ralph were gathering her things. For some reason, they thought Mint
This
would
feels
be okay
so
with them being
old.
there, even though she can't stand either of them. Here is the conversation that my ex-fiance and I had after I
Oh
told her that this was
no,
unfair.
I don't want to listen to this. I remember the conversation.
Mentally ill, and I sold the gun that she demanded police and
Yeah.
so that's
Okay.
exactly what we did. Headed to stuff is
Forgot
gone.
about that picture.
I'd advise Sylvie gets my number of ASE or bargaining power.
We were really trying to push the bit of like reading all of the punctuation in each thing. I don't remember where that bit comes from. We were definitely pulling it from somewhere.
In this series of Twitter DMs. I advised period about 6-3 yet
All
posted
the fucking text.
who never gave her name sent were
Yeah, okay. He called the cops.
to
There was
try and
lots of
bait me into being involved, but I am on the other end of the house at this point.
Yeah, tell you that trick about here too.
Is embarrassing dollars in his
Yeah.
Use your flashlight.
I saw all the fun parts. I just the cool part is where everybody's beating each other up. Yeah, there we go. Most replayed.
guard down. This, of course, is immediately followed by an
Most
heroic
replayed is
beatdown from
Bird.
Bird. His shirt Guntino
Coming
grabs
in.
a hold of and rips apart. As Riley, fueled by the burning passion of camaraderie, gives an anime speech
Fueled
about
by the
friendship and
burning
family,
passion of
I can be seen
camaraderie.
finally connecting to the police station to begin my report.
You don't break your leg. You don't. We're family. We care for each other. You're a loser. You are not.
It is really funny that Riley is giving a literal anime speech while I'm like walking away calling the police.
No, we should
You
have
you
something.
get the fuck out. You ain't
Fuck,
shit.
you're out of nothing. Yes.
They were together longer than 6 months, so Riley was wrong about that. Okay, that was a fever dream. Riley's anime speech is epic. It is pretty epic. We're a family. You don't have one. Oh man. All right. What was my first like really successful video? I'm surprised these ones have as many views as they do actually, because they definitely didn't when they came out. This is like through me getting popular, like people went back and watched these, which is kind of surprising. That doesn't happen on YouTube anymore. People no longer go to a channel that they like and watch all the videos. I don't know what happened. That used to be common practice, I think. Oh boy. We just got the $50 super chat. Thank you, Kai. Either shit talking other anime YouTubers for half an hour, oh god, what have I done? Or your drunken rant about how shit the life of Pablo is, whichever seems more interesting to you. Obviously, shit talking anime YouTubers. Come on. I don't give a fuck about the life of Pablo. I haven't listened to that shit in a decade. All right, pretty boy. Can't fucking do it anymore. Can't fucking do it anymore. Can't fucking do it anymore. Still can't do it to this day. Can't fucking do it. Can't sit around. Can't watch stuff go down. Can't sit around. Can't watch stuff go down. My town's frowning at me and I gotta spin it round. Everybody needs to know that the show that they tuned in for is actually a dog shit. Gotta say something, guys. Look. Fucking sick of the anime YouTube community. They improved. This worked. Fucking sick of anime YouTubers. In fact, I won't even call it a community because it's not really. In fact, the biggest problem with anime YouTubers is that most of them aren't watching other anime YouTubers. Interesting. Interesting. I don't think this is true anymore. Like, I think that most anime YouTubers have friends who are also anime YouTubers now. So it's interesting that this was my perspective at the time. Seem to have a lot of opinions about them, but aren't really watching their content or anything. Everyone's got so much to say. Everyone just wants to be a cool guy making cool videos, you know? Fucking sick of this. So today, me who does not want to be a cool guy making cool videos, fucking sick of this shit. This arrangement, by the way, I've been very distracted by everything that's behind me because I'm like, I've been thinking a lot about what am I going to put up in my new place? Like, what kind of aesthetics do I want to run with? Because, like, anime poster aesthetics, it feels like each image is like its own universe, and you kind of have to get lost in that individual image's universe, but there's no cohesion. You know, it's just like, whoof, here's a bunch of anime, you know? And, like, I understand that it's all just kind of stuff I think looks cool, but there's just no relationship between any of it. So it's like hard to look at, even though it's easy to look. It's easy individually to look at each of these images, and when it's on camera, it makes like a pretty good background and an easy way for me to not have to pay attention to this stupid motherfucker in the middle. But like, like when you actually come home to this and your whole room is just like woof, it's like really overwhelming, you know? But individually, like, even if you just warp into one of these images, right? Like this Witch's Tea Time, that's Kiki's delivery service and Mommy from Madoka Magica and Sakura, I think, from Cardcaptor Sakura. This is like a fan art I picked up at a con. Then you've got the DVD insert for a Petite Cosette. You've got a Fooly Cooly like calendar page or something that was, I think, from a magazine, just like literally a page in a magazine I pulled out. The DVD insert for End of Evangelion, a Mako poster that I think came in some kind of like box of like shit that I got at some point. A Doo-Da-Da-Da Season 2 poster, P-Lander Z, which is a great fucking band. And then for some reason, each volume of Nausicaa is individually laid on its side. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I got Akira and each volume of Nausicaa. I guess I'm trying not to block the posters, but I couldn't fit these anywhere else on the shelf. and they're all the like really tall manga I had at the time, probably. So we got Akira and each individual volume of Nazca. There's a random fucking Fire Force Volume 2. I don't know if that's going to be referenced in the video. It just seems to be there. It's like distractingly out of place. And then 4 volumes of Mysterious Girlfriend X, I'm pretty sure I sold. I don't think I still own those. I still have Ranma, Volume 1. I don't think I still have I Am Hero, Volume 1. Or if I do, it's in Kentucky. I have these Gunsmith Cats with me. I have the Frankenfrans with me. I actually have another Frankenfran. I think I don't know where Astro Boy is. It might still be in Kentucky also. And then you can vaguely see my video games back there. Cardcaptor Sakura manga, Blade of the Immortal. Okay. I had two things happen today that made me want to. Fire Force is that old. This video is from 2017. Fire Force manga definitely was like out for a while before the anime started. Because I was reading it just out of being a fan of, so the manga started 2015. So even it was already 3 years old by this point. And then the anime started in 2019. So the anime would have started a year later. Cut a promo on a bunch of anime YouTubers. The first of which I'll get into later. But I still have these Fire Force volumes on me. I want to reread them to decide if I'm... Because I don't see myself continuing to collect Fire Force, so I will probably sell the volumes that I have. It's not even that I dislike it. I just don't see myself collecting the rest of it because it's quite long. I see a super chat from Flourish for $6.50. Thank you. I don't know if you just couldn't fit the text, so you're putting it in another message. I'll assume so, and I'll read your next message when it comes in. Speaking of which, that finally set me off was a new Giga video came out, and I was excited when I saw the title. I was on r/anime, and I saw. I just noticed also that Luna Pretty Cure with $2 wanted me to go to the times. We'll do this after this. This video is going to take a while, so I'll have to get to these other requests afterwards. Let me make sure I actually answered that one that had come in before this. Oh yeah, I was saying that I was probably going to cover MLP again for its 15th anniversary when that rolls around. Because I still haven't seen like half of the fucking show. After I stopped covering it, I stopped watching it, and it ran for like another 4 fucking years. So there's plenty of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic I have not seen at all. The Hydea video about witches and witch hunts. Wow, I don't even fucking remember that. A video called Konosuba, Why It's Funny. Now, what excited me about this is that there's not enough people talking about comedy in anime right now. Not enough people dissecting how comedy works. And so I've been planning to make a series called Explaining the Joke, where I take different comedy shows and just explain how they work. I mean, I've already talked about Konosuba. I've talked about Sakamoto and a couple other shows, but I want to get into more depth with it. So I was excited at the idea. I saw 10 minutes of Konosuba. Oh, 10 minutes. Plenty of time. Make a good point. I start the video, and the first 3 minutes are... well, I don't really like a whole lot of comedy anime because usually I don't even crack a smile when I'm watching these shows. But every once in a while, I actually crack a smile when watching a show. It's really rare, but it's really special when it happens. And so I'm going to analyze the show and why it made me actually laugh for once. I don't fucking care. This is not just a Giga problem. This is an everyone problem. Everyone just fucking... I'm so sick of hearing how you came to this point of writing this video. It doesn't matter. Cut that out of your video. I don't want... I don't... This is... I get why I was upset about this at the time. This is one of the weaker arguments in this video. This is not... This didn't need to be here. I didn't need to make this big argument against Giga about that. But I'm really glad I did because Giga made a response video that I actually think has like more views than this video. That's just called like Don't Be Like Digibro. And that's what led to us doing that Crunchyroll Expo panel, which was a lot of fun. So from my perspective, this video is like the reason I got to actually go to Crunchyroll Expo, meet Giga, do a show with him. That was a good time, you know. Fuck Giga, go in. I mean, I don't even think I watched this whole video either. Like, I literally was just so like uppity about it. I was just angry. I was very angry about AniTube not being as good as I wanted it to be. I can't be angry anymore because AniTube is now as good as I want it to be. So I'm like, thank God I did this. But also, like, the arguments are not that great. Like the overarching argument is good. The individual arguments are not necessarily that great all the way through.
I want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about how you thought you weren't going to like the show, but you did like the show. Whoa! Like, there's exactly 2 states you're going to be in before watching a show. Either you think you're going to like it or you don't think you're going to like it. Or maybe you just have no opinion.
This is still a problem I have with tons of videos. I've gotten over it. I understand at this point that a lot of people in this space are not really writers, like first and foremost. And that used to bother me a lot more. Like I used to wish everybody had stronger writing. And now I'm kind of like more embracing that everybody has their own strengths as a content creator. And I might not be as drawn to a channel if the writing's not as good, but it doesn't mean that it's like a bad channel. But like, I think that people who don't write a lot have to work themselves up to their point more. Like it just takes more words to get you to, like you feel like you have to walk yourself through your experience in order to get to where you're trying to go. Me personally, I would just cut all that shit out of the script. You know, I would just be like, okay, nobody needs to know all that. I needed to say all that to get myself to the point where I could write the rest of the script. But none of that matters to the audience. It will not add anything for them. But I think I was also underestimating how much Gigic's audience does care, because Gigic's audience sees him as like singular. You know, they're not thinking of him as one in a sea of anime fans. They're thinking of him as the guy that does AniTube. You know, like when your audience is considerably larger than anybody else's, it means that most of that audience doesn't know about anybody else. They only know about Gigic, you know? So if you only, like your only engagement with anime YouTube was this one guy, then like going through his whole thing, I understand why he would make it that way and why that would appeal to his audience. It just really was not for me, you know, because I'm watching so much YouTube content. And that's kind of, again, my complaint was nobody else is watching as much as me. So they're not seeing all the stuff that bothers me about it. That makes me feel like, oh, we're trudging through all this low level conversation when we could be having this much higher level conversation. Yeah, RC Anime definitely gets it the worst in this vid, but
opinion at all. And then once you watch it, you either turn out to like it or you don't. You know how many fucking videos I've started that open with that? Like I click on a video and the first 3 fucking minutes is someone explaining to me how this isn't really their genre, but every once in a while one of them's good. And wow,
AniTube is good. There's like 2 good AniTubers and they have under 100K subs. I don't know. There's at least a few decent ones. Let's see. Where's my list of YouTube videos I recommended from last year? Because there's a lot of anime YouTubers I recommended in this. You know, super densely written and very beautifully written. Is this the right video? Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I want. Oh no, it's just links. God damn it. Oh, that's so annoying. Anime and manga culture. Okay, let's see. Who's good? Hazel's good. I like watching her. She just put out a new video today.
Remember when you were making out with your
this is a funny video. I've already showed that video on stream before. Let's see. Oh, yeah, a long stream I did with Nino. Nino's channel has not really been alive, though.
He goes by many names.
Kenny
In Italy, they
Lauderdale.
call
He's pretty funny. What else? What else did I say was
I
good?
went for every spin-off.
Oh yeah,
taken down,
Steven.
and now I can see clearly.
He does the best, like, here's the whole history of this motherfucking director videos that anybody does. Neo Tokyo can't handle a real gooner.
Or as I like to call it, Gooningtimes Day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dog. Gooning Times Day. Let's go. Vampire Hunter D. Oh yeah, this video got re-uploaded though. This one's back. That whole history of Vampire Hunter D.
Depicted as being so above the lower class of it today is a very Western, and his mercy really only extends to children.
Same. This is pretty cool. Fuck them up. Okay. Back to what we were doing.
This one was good. So now I'm gonna explain to you why. I don't care. Just explain to me what's good about the fucking show. Just explain what's good about Konosuba. He finally makes the point. It's mostly obvious shit that anybody could fucking figure out from watching the show. Whatever. I mean, I don't have that big a problem with most of it because I don't even think most viewers care. I don't think most viewers are looking for some new original point to be said about something. They just want to hear someone talk about Konosuba. Whatever. I get it. You just want to hear someone talk about Konosuba. Fine. But even my video about Konosuba was kind of waffly. You know, mine was only 6 minutes, and even then, I pushed it a little to get it there. You know, I started off with kind of a joke segment about having seen
that manga was Biomega,
which was funny that particular season because way too many shows started that way that season. But you know, it's just I can't believe this is still a problem. Like, I guess people don't see it as a problem. I guess nobody thinks that's a problem. Like, people just keep writing into their scripts for years and years and years. But I feel like in the anime community, no one's looking at their writing. No one's trying to become a better writer. Everyone's worried, like, everyone's thinking, I want to make my videos better. But their method of doing that is just to add more fucking effects and like, there's a segment in this Giga video that's like fully voice acted. Like, you got 3 voice actor friends and had them all do a little gag in the middle of the video.
I must just be a monster, because no pony wants to see Nightmare no more. They want Luna, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want Luna, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of loudness from the royal sisters and nightmares that'll jumpstart your heart quicker than the shock when Banesh got at the hospital when she stopped sitting around and started reading. Figured out their review was really captivating. You waited this long to stop debating. Well, I'm back, the fun has been doubled and some still hating. I know that you're having fun, Miss Pinky, but your manic antics are aggravating. So the CMC's all scared of me. Well, let me be me, so help me please. I tried to shut the night to see, but it felt so empty without me. So whatever kids will do it for kids, but for all they seem to love it, especially Pip. But get ready, cause this night's about to get scary, cause I'm gonna let it right. Here comes Nightmare, baby. So badly written, but I enjoy it.
The royal we, cause you feel so empty without me. I said this looks like a night for me. So every pony, don't run and scream. Show a little love for the royal we, cause you feel so empty without me.
Little stallions, battalions, and after this one thing about the battalions. I've been in prison years, counted the thousands. We came along on a mission to your friend, the visionary. Twilight is scary, a friendship revolution. She tells me go down to her level. Okay, I have that enough. Can't say that's particularly good, but it's fun.
And I'm like, why are you so worried about making this kind of shit? Just make your fucking writing better, you know? Like, I can be entertained by a video with none of that. His fucking music was way too loud. The music is overpowering his voice to the whole fucking video. Like, the second he starts making the point, I was like confused for a second because the music was so loud. His microphone's not that good, despite being such a fucking big YouTuber guy. It was worse than all 3 voice actors he had. I don't get. Everyone's like looking in the wrong direction on how to improve, and I think it's just because I don't know. Maybe the stuff that bothers me doesn't bother other people. Maybe they're looking to improve in different ways than what I want them to. Maybe my standard doesn't matter to them at all.
That's pretty fair.
But like, I can't talk to these fucking people because none of them are watching my shit. You know, not like Giga does.
This is literally me saying, like, I can't be friends with you guys because I hate your content. That is pretty much what I'm saying in this video is like, I really want to be friends with other AniTubers, but I hate their content. So I can't. That is pretty much the gist of what I seem to be saying.
Doesn't watch my videos. If he did, we could strike up a conversation about this. You know, I could talk to the guy, but everyone, all these anime YouTubers are very standoffish. And it's odd because they all seem to be friends. They have like little cliques, you know, but then they don't venture outside. And
Wait,
no one ever seems to...
I said that nobody was talking to each other. Now I said they have a bunch of little cliques. Which one is it? It sounds like I just feel left out. It sounds like I think that my writing is too good and therefore nobody wants to talk to me.
Like criticizing each other, trying to get better. Like in my group of friends, those of you who follow me know that I'm part of the Procrastinators. It's like 10 YouTubers who are all a tight-knit group of friends, and we constantly are criticizing each other's work.
God damn, are there really fucking 10 of us?
And trying to find ways to improve it, you know? I mean, granted, we're comparably, I guess, a bunch of assholes or just really fucking strict people with our content
Yep.
compared to what I see in other groups, but like, it drives me crazy that these guys aren't like criticizing each other, it seems. None of them are trying to make each other better. And I'm just sitting here like, I want you guys to be better because I think Giga has potential to make great YouTube videos, you know? Dude knows how to edit, dude knows how to...
That's such a fucking thing to have said, though. I think Giga has potential to make great YouTube videos. I will say, I'm the best at bullying Giga. Like, some of the shit I said about him, between that one and the, like, you are the Naruto of anime YouTubers, I still hear that and I'm like, that is such a thing to say about a person. Especially a person who's already more successful than you are.
So do voice acting, he can do some, I don't find it funny at all, but some people do. So like, there's clearly a lot of potential there. But I had to sit through 3 fucking minutes of him describing why he's in the show. Whatever, you know? Giga doesn't deserve this. None of the people I'm going to talk about necessarily deserve it, except for one.
I literally said that nobody deserves this except for one. I think we all know who that one is. Because there's one person who really, really got it in this video. I really had it out for RC Anime in this. RC Anime was what inspired this. It was literally just that I listened to some... I think it was that I'm sure I had probably talked to them at least once on Skype or something and just had like a very normal, like amicable interaction. and then never really talked to them again. And then I heard them on some podcast like making fun of the idea of the Asterisk War Sucks videos, you know, and like I just got so angry instantaneously. Like it's all I heard of the podcast. Like I heard enough to hear RC Anime make fun of my video series, and it was like I shut it off and I was just mad. And then I think probably by the end of that night I was drunk and screaming at every anime YouTuber for being shitty. So that's why I'm like, nobody deserves this except for one, and we'll get to that. It's like, damn.
But I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Where do
I think that was the one. Could have been Mother's Basement. I don't know. We'll find out.
How do I talk to these fucking people? I don't know how to just approach Gigic and tell him everything I think is wrong with his videos. Why the fuck would he care? It has to get out somewhere, though. If there's any chance that he'd hear this and cut that part out of his script. You know, and I'm not even gonna talk about all the YouTubers were just garbage. Like, I made a video, or I made some tweets about how I was gonna like rag on a bunch of YouTubers. Everyone's like, talk about the Anime Man. You think I can sit through a video of the Anime Man? You think I'm
Oh my god! Oh my god! That might be even funnier than the thing about Gigic. Oh Jesus! I put out a tweet saying I was going to talk shit about YouTubers. Everybody said, "Do the Anime Man." You think I could sit through a video by the Anime Man? Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's the Anime Man. one shot.
I'm actually going to watch enough of his content to figure out what to criticize about it. You think I'm going to sit through a whole Arcada video? It's not happening. That's not what we're here for. You know, I'm not going to watch a whole Missy Cronexia video. Those guys are probably nice guys. I don't care. Because I don't...
Those guys are probably nice guys. I don't care. I've only ever heard good things about Joey Anime Man. Everybody who's met him has said he's like the coolest person in the world. So he probably really is a nice guy.
Respect people just for being nice guys as content creators. You know, like I've heard, you know, Jeff, Mother's Basement, he was telling me like, yeah, I met Arcada and he's a nice guy. And I'm like, that doesn't make his videos good. His videos are not entertaining. Why would I respect?
I met Arcada. He seemed fine. Kind of standoffish.
Him as an entertainer if I don't find his videos entertaining. I meet nice guys all the time. My fans are nice guys. They don't make videos. You know, if they did, I would tell them what's wrong with them. I'm so fucking heated right now.
I'm so fucking heated right now. Just like getting hot and bothered in this fucking video. This is the most crash out that has ever crashed out. Like that.
I love that guy. I love his videos because I love what he's trying to do. I love that he's trying to make videos about animators.
I think I'm only off of like 3 beers in this video. Like I don't think I was like that shit-faced. I think the most shit-faced I remember being was like the God of War video where I'm like literally shouting for 35 minutes.
And industry-specific people. I have a lot of problems with this method of doing it, and I can't talk to them about it.
Shade said, are there any AniTubers you like now? You weren't here just a minute ago, but I went down a long list. I think AniTube is great currently. Like I am not... Keep in mind, I don't watch much anime or care much about anime currently, but I have no shortage of channels to watch that are like good anime content. You know, that again, new Hazel video came out today. I haven't even watched it yet. I don't even know if it's about, actually it's about video games. So it's not even an anime content video, but I'm just saying like there's, in as much as I could possibly give a fuck about anime, I am well served to have content about it, you know?
Because Canada has this fucking weird passive.
I mean, right here in the chat. Go watch Lucas' channel. Go watch Sparky's World. Not really anime focused currently. Go watch Mopu, who has watched definitely more anime than you have. I don't know who you are. Mopu's seen more anime than you. Period. That's just the way it be. You know, go listen to some music on Cecily Wren's channel. Go watch Yuo Nyakton or No Thank You's latest video where they recommended every single cute girl anime that, or every single thing about anime cute girls that has ever existed has been chronicled in one short video. So yeah, no, there's plenty of great AniTube right here in the chat.
Passive aggressive relationship with me where he like constantly on Twitter is like shit talking a type of person, which is just me. You know, like he'll be like, oh, you know, people who say this and that about A1 Pictures. And I'm like, you're just describing me. I'm the only person publicly shitting on A1 Pictures. You know, just message me about it. Let's have a conversation and work through our issues with this. If you think I'm wrong about my stance on studios, talk to me about my stance on studios instead of passive aggressively shitting on me on Twitter all the fucking time.
Yeah, this part I really do think certain things have changed a lot where like people are a lot more on the DL about their shit talking, you know, like including me. You know, back then, this is during a period of time where I was still doing Let's Plays all the time, where I would like talk shit about my own friends, you know, like they would hear it and be like, why did you say this publicly? And I'm like, I only get 100 views. And it's like, that's 100 people who now, you know, think of me basically only in terms of what you just said about me, you know, like whose entire understanding of my existence is whatever you just said about me on the internet. So thanks for that, you know. He used to be the Anthony Fantano of Anime for Real. Around this time, I would have been watching every single Anthony Fantano video. Like, unquestionably, I heard Fantano's voice every day of my life. By this point, for like 4 years, maybe even 5 years already. Like, I've been a Fantano fan since like 2012. I don't watch him anymore because I have my own opinions and I don't need him. But I was a big Fantano fan.
You know, making all these posts about Sword Art Online. I know some people are going to rag on this movie. Yeah, it's me. I'm going to rag on the movie. I know who you're talking about. We follow each other on Twitter. I know no one's as angry.
I was so angry. I was just such an angry. I can't even rise to this level of anger anymore without it being like funny. Like I was trying to be funny in this video, but also like all of the emotion is completely real. It's not like an act. I'm like really that angry and like just trying to be funny about it as best I can.
As I am, I'm a loud drunk American asshole. That's probably why.
I've always this line in particular has always stuck with me, being loud drunk American asshole, because like I really kept wondering about how somebody like Canepa or Gigguk, who are not, as far as I know, not from the United States originally, like I was wondering how they would take this as like, you know, like, do I seem like just a normal American, or do I seem like my own type of beast? You know, like, do if you're a non-American watching this, are you going to see this as like, oh yes, this is what, like, this is how them, you know, loud drunk Southern, you know, American types be like, kind of thing, you know, or does it read that like I'm a special type of a different, you know, or is that not even true? Is it in fact just that I am like this because I'm American? You know, all of that was kind of running through my head, leading me to drop that line in there really unexplained, really just kind of inexplicably.
People have a difficult time meeting me on this level of anger, but it's driving me fucking insane because it's all the time. It's every day. It's every day. Here's what set me off. Number one.
It's every day, bro.
Punk bitch motherfucker RC anime.
Punk bitch motherfucker. That line really stuck with people. I heard people quoting punk bitch motherfucker a lot. I think RC Anime had that as their name on Skype for a time too. I'm gonna tell you the origin of this.
Was all true. You drew first blood. Jesus is coming to take you. Coming to bring. Shut up.
Wait, no, I passed it.
Watch what you doing.
Here we go. Oh no, this is censored. Where do I find the uncensored version of this? God damn it! This song has white people saying the N-word in it, so it's been censored in most places.
Never forget where you come from. Keep your mouth shut. Back the fuck up. Watch what you doing. Punk. Bitch. Motherfucker.
There you go. Punk, bitch, motherfucker. I grew up with that song because it's got Surge from System of a Down in it, and my mom had burned CDs of like everything that anyone in System of a Down had ever been in. Let me play the System of a Down part. Real quick.
The sky is falling, I don't care. I just want to feel good.
Yeah, anyway.
Who, I've never liked his videos because he has a really obnoxious voice and he never says anything at all. Here's how an RC anime video plays out. You see a really pretty image, a really pretty piece of anime.
This is such a fucking, this is like, This is a pack out. This is a pack out moment because this is accurate. I still remember the experience. As soon as I started describing the experience of an RC anime video right there, it took me back and I could picture it in my head. Like the jazzy music, the slow panning shot of the sky, the logo that's all like artsy and gorgeous. And then, hey guys, RC
animation from a show. And some nice jazz music starts playing. And it gets you in this groovy mood. He's got this really fucking, this logo appears and like the graphic arts. And you're like, oh, all right, get me in the mood. And then, hey guys, RC Anime here to tell you about a new show that the most obnoxious.
It's so true though.
Just voice in the world. Completely, like, what's the point of setting the tone if you're gonna have this squeaky ass voice cut in over it?
You all heard what my voice sounded like. So you know how hard I've trained my voice to sound good. So that's why I'm being mean about this. Is I'm in the mentality of I work hard to not sound like shit over the beautiful anime footage, you know. So.
It's badly mixed, and you don't know what you're doing with the fucking microphone. The reason I'm being so harsh, some of you are probably thinking, whoa, did you? Why are you swinging at RC Anime? Because this motherfucker just made this podcast. Because people talk shit about me all the time, and for some reason think I won't notice. Because, oh, he's got almost 300,000 subscribers. Oh, how could he possibly see us lowly peasants? Because just because, like, you know, Kanapa doesn't watch my videos, he doesn't seem to understand that I've seen all of his...
Nobody is nobody.
...content anywhere on the internet, because that's what I do. I watch anime videos. That's what I'm passionate about, is
I have to piss, so I'm going to play a relevant song real quick that I made about being a lurker. Yeah, here we go. I think it's got a music video, but I don't know where I'm gonna find that.
Big Brother's watching you. We lurk, so we see everything you do. Wake me up another night. Somebody told me that I bury everything inside, but I'm not doing this. So bad, I think I thought it out. I'm reading another remote. We because some of the photos, but nobody knows. I do that, what you do, so don't let me do nothing. You can see my eyes, all I'm saying, I'm so. If you're shaking in your throat, go ahead and delete it. Everybody knows we gon' see you if you tweet it. Big Brother's watching you. We lurk, so we see everything you do. Start of the year, I'm fighting to clear on black or white. You get that's like a coast to coast. I don't say my friend, I'm saying what I'm not like. I'm just saying I'm gonna fight, I'm alright on the mic. Feeling great when I run the flight. If you still mad at it, listen to this one more time. The melody in my skin is over the fan, put a pen in my hand when I'm about a fan. I'll be giving it on Sunday day. You be celebrating, my whole crew celebrates for the hell of it. Hey, now the niggas by that I'm not hell, they feeling it. Hey, in the room is an elephant. Hey, in the tomb with the whole caps, alright, pay. Alright, pay. If it's taking in your throat, go ahead and delete it. Everybody knows we gon' see you if you tweet it. Big Brother's watching you. We lurk, so we see everything you do.
I got back right when the song was ended, and I didn't get to hear it, and I don't remember how it goes. So now you all know that song better than I do. Oh boy! All right, let's continue.
Anime discussion. So he's on this podcast with RC Anime, and RC Anime's like, we're gonna make 24-part video about the Sword Art Online movie just to show that one show sucks. It takes 14 parts just to say a show is bad.
You can see I had so much fun doing that I almost broke character and like just like lost the rant.
Mischaracterizing my Asterisk War Sucks series, as you've probably seen people do before. Happens all the time. Because no one's fucking watched it. They just see the Asterisk War Sucks part 1, 12, 12. They don't even read the subtitles that have names like How to Ruin a Sci-Fi Setting. A video entirely about how to ruin a sci-fi setting, as exemplified through the Asterisk War. Sure, it's not a video series about the Asterisk War. It is in some way, but it's mostly about the broad concept of shitty light novel adaptations and all the different ways that they fuck up, which I say at the start of episode 1. At the very beginning, I say this is going to be a series about, about this issue that I have a real problem with. These people haven't watched it. They want to make fun of it. They want to feel superior to the big guy. Oh, he's got 3.
You got to admit, it's pretty sad for a critic to talk about a work they haven't engaged with at all.
I hate that fucking guy. They only got 40K, even though I put way more effort into my editing than he does, even though my scripts are 9 minutes to make a 2.5-minute fucking point. Because that's the problem I have with most of these guys, is they don't get to the fucking point. You know, they just don't. RC Anime, his videos, he makes a point in the first minute and a half and then reiterates it for 9 fucking.
And again, I think this is something that we've gotten a lot better about. Like, if you watch, like, so I think where we've come with YouTube is that a lot of people have realized that it's not really, for the viewer, it's not really about the point you're making as much as it is the experience of the video. And like, that was the reason Demolition D was so beloved, is that both things were always perfect. Like, it was always making a great point and it was always a great experience because his voice was awesome. His editing was awesome. He's funny and he's insightful. And so it was like, you could watch those videos over and over again. And with my videos, there's less overall like entertainment factor, I think, but it's very cozy. I've got a cozy voice, a cozy delivery, and you could just kind of listen to me drone on all fucking day. So this would have been, I think, before I did a video about that Anime Snob. This might be after I first talked to Snob, though. I'm not sure. I've talked about Snob so many fucking times. Every couple of years, I just decide to poke that, you know, just for the hell of it, just to see. People don't really care most of the time. Like, it's usually funnier for me than it is for the audience, and nobody really gives a shit about that guy. It's kind of sad. I wish people wanted, you know, to watch the war with him, but the problem is he won't stop using slurs. Like, he just won't stop using homophobic slurs and being like Mr. Anti-Woke, and like, you're just never gonna get anywhere with that in this modern day. You know, people are not gonna watch his side of the fight. You know, they're only gonna listen to me make fun of him. I think about Pretty Colors all the time too, Kai. Like, Snob saying that's the best, like, it always stuck with me because it's so funny that it was something he was saying as an insult, and I'm like, but no, that's actually true though. Like, I do actually just want to see Pretty Colors. And like, a lot of my argument, I think the reason I find Snob inspiring is that he is a great representative of like the opposition to my side of anime culture, where like I'm team Moe. I'm like OG team Moe, you know, in terms of the English speaking anime fandom. You know, I came in on Moe in a way. Like, oh, I really came in on action shows as a kid, but like as an otaku, like what drew me into the depths of anime was Hidamari Sketch and Manabi Straight and Lucky Star and Haruhi and, you know, the Moe era. And so to me, like, when I got into it, like, Moe was very contentious and like anime fans hated it, especially like 4chaners, you know. It was like, anime is supposed to be about manly men punching shit, you know. Like, if I think JoJo saved this, actually. I think JoJo saved us from this. I think the existence of JoJo pleased those people enough that we don't have to have this fucking conversation anymore. Because for years, it was like, manly anime is dead and Moe killed it. That was the conversation online, was like, all this cute girl shit is ruining anime because I want to watch big men punch each other and do like crazy stuff. And then they finally started adapting JoJo, and all was right with the anime world. Nobody complained ever again. That Haruhi time loop pissed you off. I didn't bother watching it yet. But yeah, the Pretty Colors thing was always funny to me because it's like, that's why I ended up doing videos like Aesthetic is Narrative or the Legend of the Galactic Heroes aesthetics video. Like, I've made a lot of great videos based on just trying to express not why that Anime Snob is wrong, like in terms of how he judges me, but just that he's wrong to judge me for that. That like, yeah, but everybody else knows that aesthetics are great and you're being an idiot, you know, which is why he's fun to have as a heel. But again, nobody's going to watch his videos as long as he keeps using slurs all the time and shit.
Fucking minutes. Even Canepa. Like, Canepa scripts don't go anywhere. He just kind of says, here's a cool animator, here's a cool animator, this guy's a cool animator. He doesn't make any points about them. He doesn't explain anything. He just shows their clips, blasts some loud-ass music, and screams at you.
Canepa got way better, by the way. Like, Canepa's videos improved tremendously. I was like a fan by the time I met Canepa, like because remember Canepa moderated. It would have been like almost a year later, I think. No, just later that year. I think Crunchyroll Expo would have been like in August of the same. So not even that long later, actually. Maybe it wasn't that Canepa. Was it 2017 or 2018 that I went to Crunchyroll Expo? I can't remember. 2017 makes more sense. Yeah, it had to be 2017. Maybe he didn't improve like right after this in time for me to have met him and become a fan, but I definitely know that Canepa's videos got a lot better. And eventually Canepa was one of those who like learned Japanese, disappeared to Japan, and stopped trying to communicate with the English speaking fandom because it happens. Whenever an anime fan like learns Japanese and goes to Japan, they quickly realize, why the fuck would I speak to English speakers ever again about this? I'm getting nowhere.
The whole video, out of breath, takes a breath after every fucking word. And that is why this animator is so incredible, because he has the most special animation in the world. And it's like, dude, calm the fuck down. Now look, I made a video just to clown on these two guys.
Me saying calm the fuck down in the middle of this video is wild of a thing to have said. Dude, calm the fuck down while I'm shouting.
RC Anime and the Canepa Effect, my video about Taku Iwasaki, the musician behind Gurren Lagann and all that music. I made that video in the style of those guys' videos. It's where it's really hype music, really hype animation, and sparse dialogue with lots of music intercut, but I made it to show you how to mix those, because the audio mixing is crucial to that.
I made it to show you how to mix those. I don't even know if those videos I just mentioned are like particularly well mixed. They are certainly better than like the examples I'm giving, but like...
Because you can't just make a hype video by throwing a bunch of loud fucking music and explosive fucking images into it if your microphone is a piece of garbage and you don't know how to talk, which is the case for both of those guys. You know, no offense.
Talk! If you don't know how to talk like me, who's great at talking.
The Canepa, because I really like his videos, but his delivery is like barely listenable. And every time I try to show someone Canepa's videos, they always complain about it. Every friend I've tried to introduce him to, or introduce to him rather, they're always like, oh my god, his fucking voice, you know? And it's not because he has a bad voice, it's because he just is like trying to be so intense and energetic.
That was true, by the way. That was not me like being like an asshole. I really had tried to show Canepa's videos to several of my friends who had just been like, I can't with this like delivery.
They're just gasping for air like a fucking dying dog who just ran a marathon, you know? Just talk normal in the video and then mix it right. What I did...
Again, Canepa's videos did improve, unlike RC Anime, who simply stopped after this.
Here's your guide. I used a program called Fruity Loops that has a extension called the Sound Goodizer. I'm going to put out a whole video explaining how to do this, but you take the music track, you mix it so that the audio levels go up and down, and you know how to do that part, but then you just mix...
I'm tempted to donate for like 4-hour-long Patreon Digi's Crib. Oh my god, I don't even remember a 4-hour-long Patreon Digi's Crib. I know there's like 7 hours of Digi's Crib, but I don't even remember. Is that the one where I'm like going through a desk drawer full of old writing or something? Is that a Patreon exclusive? I don't even fucking remember.
Your voice to sound thick and full and radio-like over the mix. You can whisper into a microphone and you can still make it sound louder than the music.
Has anybody on YouTube effectively re-implemented the Digibro look yet? I think so. Well, there's a bunch of people who use round sunglasses. There's a bunch of people who look exactly like me, like, regardless of the glasses, I mean. Like Wendigoon kind of looks like a suspiciously...
You've likely heard it said that truth is stranger than
actually,
fiction.
he looks a lot cleaner than he used to. He used to look a little bit more disheveled and dungeony. Who's another person who I think... Who's that guy? Lexdorius? I feel like he's got like a bit of a... Like a Digibro kind of...
Had a major sex scandal pop up.
Guy in my room. Even he's a lot more clean cut, though. Nobody's truly as disheveled and dangerous as Digibro. Who can I think of? There's definitely people who used the round sunglasses. I mean, he's got them in the picture here. Those are just regular glasses, though. Fuck, I can't remember. Emp Lemon? Yeah, Emp Lemon's done the round glasses. He doesn't look nothing like me, but...
By mixing it correctly. If you just scream into a microphone that's not recording that loudly... and
Wendigoon is also a hillbilly from the Appalachians like you. Fair enough. I'm born in California, by the way, so I'm not, like, from here.
Equality. It's still going to get drowned out by the music. It's going to sound like a clusterfuck and shitty. You know? And I'd love to just tell this to Canepa, but I feel weird about talking to the guy because he constantly shit talks me on Twitter without tagging me, which gives me the sense that he doesn't want to talk to me, you know?
For real clarity, though, my mom comes from Appalachia descent. more or less. My dad is from California.
God. And those are the ones I have the main, like, that's my main issue. It's just the repetitiveness. I cannot watch Mother's Basement anymore. You know, Jeff is a cool guy. You know, I don't mind him as a human being.
And I don't mind him as a human being. That's a fucking sounds like a lie even then.
But like, it's so clear that he's doing the Game Theory thing. For those who don't know, Game Theory is a channel.
I think he was literally writing for Game Theory. Like, I think he actually was like one of the writers for Game Theory at the time.
That's really big in the gaming, just huge YouTube channel. And the guy MatPat who runs the channel, he's like an expert in how to game YouTube systems. Like, he's the one who like wrote the book on it. He goes around giving advice to other channels on how to maximize their YouTube ad revenue and like how to make videos that will game YouTube systems and algorithms and make it work. And as a result of that, I mean, he's explained how to do this. He's explained if you make a video over 15 minutes, it has more ad benefits. You can put in more ad breaks if you want. You know, you get the added effect of people.
You know what? I might not have hated Jeff that much as a person yet when I made this, but I definitely did afterwards. Because after this video, oh, come on. How do I fucking find this video anymore? God damn it. You were in this, Sparky. You know what I'm talking about. You know why. In fact, Sparky's World in the chat is specifically contributed to why I don't like Jeff. Anyway, this video came out, and in this, I make some claims about Jeff ripping off points I'd made in my content and not the podcast that lives alive and unbroken on your channel. Okay. So, God, how old is this shit? Brief thoughts on Digi's claims. It's literally 20 seconds. What could how brief? They're very brief. I don't see this. Where is it? Have you lied? You just wanted advertising for your channel? To the playlist section unlisted. Okay, let's see here. Cool stuff featuring me, old podcasts. Or is it'd probably be in cool stuff featuring you, right? Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Digibro here.
Not this one. AnyTube Civil War Finale. That's a good name for it. Okay. So after this video came out, Jeff demanded a podcast to talk about it because he wanted to mostly make me very aware that if I didn't have evidence of him having ripped me off, then that would be potentially libelous and he might lawyer up about it. That was essentially what this was about. Was him trying to determine whether or not he was going to sue me for saying that he was ripping me off without crediting me. And I basically said, Jeff, I don't fucking care. Shut the fuck up. So I think Gigak is here for some of this podcast and says almost nothing. And Nino and Sparky and Pedantic Romantic, I don't know what they go by anymore. I don't know if they're still online. But they were all basically glazing me for how much they loved this video. And Jeff was, I don't know, concerned trolling me basically for the sake of a 4 fucking hour. This could not have been about anything, this podcast. But as we were making this, all of us are recording our own audio. And Jeff was responsible for it. By the way, when we talk about like Jeff stealing my ideas or whatever, I gave him Weebcast. I heard on there was real quick. That Weeb Crew show that Roy Thomas is always begging me to watch. They were guests on another channel that I actually subscribed to. So I ended up listening to some of it. I kind of got bored though. Here we go. Clear and Sweet had the Weeb Crew podcast members on. And in this, they were talking about their name and how it is different from the Weebcast. And they were like, I think Weebcast is something that Mother's Basement did with his wife or something. Weebcast is a show I created where me and Mother's Basement and Best Guy Ever and Sparky's World and Nino and whoever else we had as guests, incidentally, would talk about the current season anime. It had its own Skype group. It was my podcast. And then I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. So I gave it to Jeff. And then Jeff created branding for it, and he ran with it, and he did way more episodes of it. But much like Ben Saint with the lectures, it was my idea that someone else decided I'm going to run with this. And you've given me permission, so now it's mine. And you will never be mentioned again, you know? But yeah, so I was just upset that I felt like Jeff was stealing my ideas, but in like a low-key way. But so Jeff released this to his channel, and it has a shitload of views, but like Sparky's audio goes out like an hour and a half before the end, and so there's just a bunch of holes in the audio in Jeff's version. And immediately, Sparky realized this and started fixing it. But because it's such a long podcast and Sparky didn't have the best computer, this was like an all-day endeavor of rendering the fixed version with the better audio. So once that was done, Sparky uploaded it onto YouTube, and then Jeff demanded he take it down and just put the audio on SoundCloud because it would mess with the SEO of the upload he already had. Motherfucker, it's not yours. It was everyone. Everyone in it had, like, what made this something that Jeff thought he had authority to tell everybody else who was in the podcast that they're not allowed to fucking post it? Like, Spark says, my first experience with the business side of AnyTube. It was my fucking last experience with respecting Jeff Do ever again. And I told him this at Crunchyroll Expo because there was a moment we were all in an Uber on our way to the after party, and he said something like, well, we're cool, right? Or something like that. And I literally said, no. And then I explained to him, remember when Sparky had re-uploaded the fixed version of that podcast and you told him to take it down because your version, which only had, I think by the time Sparky had uploaded his, Jeff's upload had like 10,000 views. That video went on to have like 400,000 views or some crazy. I think it has more than the original fucking video. It's got at least as much as the original fucking video. So there was an opportunity day one to fix the problem. He could have even just taken Sparky's fucking video and re-uploaded it to his channel and we would have had a fixed version of it. But he would rather have had the fucked up broken version on just because it was already uploaded and already had already had 10,000 views. And I was just like, this is fucked. Like, so I let him know that. And I listened to him and Miles talk about their agents in the Kiss Anime IRC chat. They were trying to take down Kiss Anime once and for all. Because, taking down one of those sites super matters. They definitely don't just spring up with 10 clones the next day.
Having increased retention, if they marathon your videos, you get even more attention. He explained all of this. And so it's painfully obvious that that's what he's doing. There is not a game theory video under 15 minutes anymore, even though the videos are often 2 minutes of point. And with Jeff, whereas I think that, like, Canepa and RC Anime, those guys just don't know how to write really well. With Jeff, he's obviously doing it on purpose. His videos are all over 15 minutes long now, and they don't need to be. And I can't sit through it because I see what's happening. I can't watch a video like that.
What older videos would be interesting to watch in relation to me being trans? Any off the top of my head? Maybe the My Little Pony embracing girliness video. I'm not sure. I'll look at the list and I'll let you know.
Knowing that that's why it's that long. I can't watch a 17-minute video that doesn't
Miles
need to be 17
isn't
minutes.
even at Crunchyroll anymore. Bro, at Crunchyroll Expo, he told me, I'm going to be running this company in 10 years. I almost burst out fucking laughing when he said it to me.
know that, and I know that it's only 17 minutes because you think that's how the YouTube algorithm can best be gamed. I know it. You know, you can't trick me because I've seen all the NetPet videos about it, and you've run 3 fucking ads in the middle of the video. Not only do ad breaks, but also through advertising Crunchyroll and whoever the fuck else is paying you, fucking Naruto Online. You know, I would never make I know that he wouldn't have made a video about Naruto at all if he didn't get that offer from Naruto Online. You know, like why else make a video about it? Who fucking cares? I wouldn't even be willing to call out Jeff so much, not for the fact that he also just borderline plagiarizes a lot of stuff from me and other YouTubers. I don't think he does it on purpose. I think Jeff has a sort of mindset that when something is said,
see, that's the part that he was upset about. I said borderline plagiarizes stuff from other YouTubers, and I even gave him the out of I don't think he's doing it on purpose. And most of what I was referring to is that Jeff had done this video where he was talking about how the clown sightings, because there was like this random news story where there's a bunch of clown sightings in like 2017. I don't know if anybody remembers this. It was a weird, random, nothing burger news story. But he did a video comparing it to the concept of a standalone complex as presented by Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. And the way that he described what a standalone complex is was how I had described it in my video about the show. And I had never heard someone talk about it that way, like on the internet. Like, and on the one hand, you could say, well, those are just the themes of the show. Like, but the way he explained it was just so similar to the way I had it. I was like, I've never heard anyone else talk about it this way, you know? And like, why would you even have this in your head other than like this, you know, fucking 2003 anime? Like, why are you thinking about Ghost in the Shell and the concept of a standalone complex other than I made a video about it in like late 2014, early 2015, like mid 2014, you know? So maybe he was going back through my videos. I know he had already seen a lot of my videos, so it was just kind of a weird thing where I was like, okay, why didn't you mention me? Like, why didn't you mention when you said Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is like this? Why didn't you say like in this video, like was expressed in this video? You know, that was all I wanted, was like when people are saying something that I know they got from me, I just want them to acknowledge they got it from me, because I do that. I acknowledge where I got my shit from all the time. I'm always putting on other YouTubers, and it makes people get into those fucking YouTubers, you know? So I need that. I need you to give me the shout outs. And I'm like, why am I not getting the fucking shout outs? You know, like I have given you the whole fucking idea for your career, you know? Like, come on.
Said it is now just a part of the lexicon. Like, he'll just repeat things that have been said in other videos almost verbatim without giving credit to it, because it's like the fact that it's been in another video means that everyone just knows it now, even though it's just something that guy came up with. Sometimes that guy is me, you know, and I've seen plenty of videos of his where he like directly quotes me or says things that I came up with and either didn't credit me or barely did, you know. So, you know, it's a practice I'm not okay with, you know. Like, I don't want to fucking just rag on Jeff, but I feel like he's stolen a bunch of my fucking content, you know. So it's a little offensive. And I'm only even being that nice to Jeff because he's someone who's actually fucking talked to me. Unlike these other guys who I'm standing right there. You know, Canepa has my fucking Discord information. If he wants to debate the merits of A1 Pictures, he can go right ahead. If he thinks I'm spreading misinformation and he has a problem with that, fucking talk to me about it, you know?
And you know, Canepa and I did a bunch of podcasts together. Again, other than the appearance at that one con. And it's not like we ever became like buddies or whatever, you know, it's just like we had the conversations that, you know, when he got mad at something I was saying, we did a podcast about it after this point, you know.
Done so. And it's just it's driving me crazy being a part of this anime lack of community on YouTube and seeing all these guys who are just all talking shit about me behind my back, like RC Anime, or you know, or just being passive aggressive, like
I'm talking about shit about me behind my back in public. It's important to remember,
like Canepa or jacking my content like Jeff, and just being weirdly shady. Like Jeff, he keeps admitting I'm the shill.
Snowman 8 with $20 says, Trixie L, it does not make sense to stop being friends with Jeff just because Jeff didn't let Sparky post a video. L, I disagree. Well, okay, that's not the only reason I don't like Jeff. I just think he's a fucking snake and a social climber, a general dick riding glazer, and like will say anything to fit in. I don't know. I haven't met the guy in like fucking 6 years, so all this could be different. He could be like the sweetest man in the world now. I have no idea. But at the time, everything about him was off-putting to me. After having met him in person a couple of times, I was like, I can't with this guy. His values are too different from mine, I think. I think he's the kind of guy who believes that he's like because he's politically liberal, that he's therefore like exonerated from being like a terrible person or something. But I don't know. Again, this is all my opinion of him from 5 years ago, so take it with a grain of salt. I have not seen a Mother's Basement video in a fucking eternity. His ideas of 550 said add observations on MLP embracing girliness to the watch queue. You could also put vidrecs in a text file so you don't lose track. That's a good point. Luckily, I have in StreamYard, I can scroll all the way up through the whole chat, so I still have all the super chats here.
Ill Supreme, I'm such a shill. Haha, isn't that funny? I'm like, it's not funny to me. I don't follow channels who are shills. Like, I appreciate the hustle, but it's not for me. I'm not gonna watch that content. There's plenty of YouTube channels I've unsubscribed to for that. You know, like
see, like me saying I appreciate the hustle, that is not true anymore. Like, I literally don't appreciate the hustle. I'm like a pocket watching anti-capitalist gremlin. Like, I legitimately hate people for making money. I'm bad about this. I'm not the same way. I would not give somebody a pass for trying to make money in the year of our Lord 2025.
I don't want to watch someone shilling stuff all the time. That's not entertaining to me. You know, you don't see me doing that, and I could every brand deal Jeff has, I have the opportunity for every single one of them. You know, anything you've ever seen Jeff shill, it's been offered to me, and I've turned it down. It's not that I'm not willing to shill. I will do it.
I've been saying this ever since, and people still won't listen to me. It's been 7 years of me saying, guys, like, you know, I'm like 8 years of me saying, you know, I'm turning down like the deals, and people are like, but you could be making money, and I'm like, do you want shitty content? Like, you can make shitty content. I don't think that's what you want. I don't know.
Plan on it, but only if I'm like passionate about it. If it's something I wanted to talk about anyways, you know, it just feels weird to me to see him do it and to be so proud of it. And I'm like, no, it's not something to be proud of. It's something you're supposed to hide away and pretend you don't do, you know, to your patrons who pay you to make your videos, even though you're getting paid by other sources. Not that they wouldn't necessarily be happy for you, but just it seems antithetical to the point to me. Look, there's some great anime YouTubers. Best guy ever, good friend of mine.
Shade, go ahead.
Very rarely, but they're always amazing.
You should make an appearance.
He's not an incredible writer. He's an incredible editor. I think he puts too much into his editing. I think it can go too fast. It can be kind of hard to follow. I think he thinks about it too much and loses track of what the audience is going to think. But nonetheless, it's still great. You know, he's not perfect, but he's still great. Super Eye Patch Wolf is fantastic. I hate the first 3 minutes of all of his videos because he does the same thing I was just complaining about, where he talks about how he got to that point. Like, every single one of his videos is an entire history of his relationship.
Oh my God, it's Shade! Whoa! Yeah. What's up?
I've seen my monitors. I'm trying to set up in there.
Get them monitors. I assume by that you mean like monitors. I thought you were talking about speaker monitors.
No.
And I was like, are there speaker monitors in here?
Yeah, there's 4
No,
monitors.
he means
on this
multiple whole ass desktop monitors.
What's up, guys? What's up? How did I get there? You know,
Shade
you
lives
ain't gotta
here.
worry about that.
Anyway, Super Eye Patch Wolf still makes good videos. I feel like he's only ever improved.
But the anime is completely unnecessary most of the time. Sometimes it's a little more necessary than others. I'll give him credit. Sometimes he can tie it in well. Sometimes it's fucking pointless. Please, if you're watching this Eye Patch Wolf, please cut that out. Just because otherwise your writing's perfectly fine. I have no real problems. He's not incredibly eloquent, but I think he makes great videos. He just talks about anime in a cool way. He talks about important shows and in a lot of depth and gets to the heart of the matter really easily. I like his videos. He does just the right level of editing. That it doesn't feel like he's overly concerned about editing, but he also makes sure the video is watchable all the way through. That's the perfect level to me. You know, Demolition D hasn't made a video in literally 80 years. He used to be pretty cool, but like his last few videos were pretty fucking vapid. And it bothers me when people add like demos like the
Damn. I actually think his last few videos were very good. I called them vapid, but they were good though. I remember them being good. I know I went back and watched them and was like, why was I harshing on Demo's videos? These are good videos.
God of the anime sphere because he was funny. Because like I don't really think that when I look for
literally just jealous
an anime video is just to be funny. You know, like anybody, like 2 of my favorite channels that both claim to be anime review channels are My Japanese Animes and Monkey's Anime Reviews. And Monkey's Anime Reviews in particular has nothing to do with anime. It's just really funny. It's a great channel because it's fucking hilarious. Because Monkey is actually a comedian. You know, in a way that someone like Giga could not.
I don't know if actually a comedian is the phrase I would use. He's funny.
Even dream of being as funny as Monkey, at least to me. And Jesse, who does My Japanese Animes, is also one of the funniest, well, probably the funniest guy I know ever. You know, has made literally hundreds of classic videos that I'm a huge fan of. My Japanese Anime is a little bit more about the anime. It actually does deal with the shows just in a different way. And it takes a very unique take. It's not just a plug and play bullshit like, here's my thoughts on this show and my history with it and whatever other crap that people are.
You know what my favorite anime channels are? Channels that are barely anime channels whatsoever and are just comedy channels.
You know, if you want to see someone who's actually doing something with YouTube, watch that guy. Fucking Canapa linked some dude the other day. He was like, oh, this guy doesn't make a lot of videos. He was like, I don't watch a lot of anime reviewers on YouTube, but I always watch this guy. And he linked some guy's 20-minute fucking review of Rakugo Shinju. And it fucking sucked. It was super highly edited, and the guy went to all these locations and stuff. He was just giving a completely generic review of Rakugo Shinju. He was just saying the same shit everyone said.
I don't remember this at all.
Who fucking cares? I don't watch videos to hear the same shit anyone else could say. And incidentally, Canapa, I also don't watch it to get the experience of listening to a soundtrack while clicking on Sakugaboru. Really like his videos on stuff like the Pokemon and
listening to a soundtrack while clicking on Sakugaboru. Actually, that sounds like a great time though.
We talked about like why character designers are important. Very important information everyone needs to know. You know, but if like
it's just the taste in music, really. Like if Canepa had been playing music I wanted to hear, I would have been perfectly content to watch him fucking AMV.
I could get the info by literally just going to Sakuga board. Then what the hell's the point? Ah, God, fuck. I'm gonna make so many people so fucking.
That poor Rakugo Shinju guy was an innocent casualty. He didn't even get named. I don't even know who that was or what the fuck I was talking about. I have no recollection of that.
Being angry with this video. This is gonna be the most angry people ever. Anime Everyday's videos are boring. The anime sounds like
anime every day. Just like I think I'm literally looking at a list. Like I have a physical list somewhere off screen that I'm holding to remind myself. The way I like going into an index. Who haven't I talked about yet? Oh yeah, anime every day. Boring. Just
fucking dick.
This is such a fucking like. It's like a Donald Trumpian like type of a video, just like, and that anime every day, boring.
I literally cannot understand most of Pause and Select's videos, but that's okay. They're just not.
Maybe that's what I meant by loud American
for me as an audience member. The Pedantic Romantic is a new guy who's doing really good work.
Hey, not a guy, but cool. I don't think
fan of me, obvious influence from me. I've enjoyed all his videos. I think he needs to find.
All right, let's get past the.
Who else is in the anime sphere? Who haven't I talked shit about yet? Oh yeah, I was saying about his video. What bothers me about people liking his videos so much is that he was funny, but he wasn't always making a great point. You know, his Ava videos were great. They were no better than anything I've ever done, and I've made hundreds of videos at that level of quality. And his comedy stuff eventually became kind of vapid. Like his last video about fucking what's it called?
What am I talking about?
Umaru-chan, who fucking cares? You know. I know Demo never took YouTube very seriously or anything, but
no, that Umaru-chan video is great. I'm being a real hater. I'm being a jealous hater.
Right. Whatever. Nino's good. Never makes videos, but when he does, they're good. Subsonic Sparkle, also good. Never makes videos, but when he does.
Hey, that's Sparky's World in the chat.
They're good. He used to make. I think he's gonna make more. Subsonic makes good videos.
I think he's gonna make more. 6 years later.
Enjoyed all the ones he's done. I think he's he's made huge improvements. Like if you look at his early stuff compared to his newer stuff, it's amazing how much he evolved in such a short time. And I think he could really go places if he keeps putting out videos. So yeah. So anime YouTubers you should follow. Best Guy Ever, My Japanese Animes, Monkey's Anime Reviews, that's not actually about anime, Subsonic Sparkle, The Pedantic Romantic, Pause and Select if you like super academic stuff. You should definitely be following Super Eye Patch Wolf and Nino and Canepa in spite of all my complaints about him. I'd love it if he took any of this to heart. I don't know if he'll take this. I don't know how he'll take this video. I don't know the guy. I wish I knew the guy, but I don't know the guy. So I don't.
Still don't really know how he took the video exactly. But again, Canepa did improve in like all the ways I was complaining about. So
how he'll take this, if he'll take it hard or soft, or what he'll think about a drunk man ranting about his fucking content. But
whoa, man.
I just wish it was good. Because so many of these guys, that's what bothers me, is that they could be good. Under the Scope is okay. He's another one who his videos are repetitive as fuck, like 9 minutes to make a point.
I don't think Under the Scope exists anymore.
Making 3 minutes, like it's too much. But other than that, he's all right. Everyone else sucks. Everyone else sucks fucking dick.
Everybody else sucks fucking dick. Holy shit!
Yet, so I'm not gonna talk about them. But yeah,
I love how like winded and out of it. Like I sound like I'm ready to pass out. Like I just fired off every single round I had, like of like spirit energy that I had, and now I'm just like.
If you weren't listening, you probably suck because I've probably seen your videos and they probably suck.
I've probably seen your videos and they probably suck. Like if you weren't mentioned, by the way, you suck.
Literally everybody. I hope I die soon. I'm tired of living in this fuck.
I hope I die soon.
You all piss me off.
You all piss me off.
I just want YouTube videos I can enjoy, all right? I just want people to make anime videos I can like. I don't want to be the only anime YouTuber I like. I love.
It worked though. It worked.
My own videos. I watch them all fucking day. I made hundreds of videos about anime, making hundreds of great points, and these motherfuckers don't even fucking respect that fact. These motherfuckers are gonna make fun of me for making 14 videos about the Asterisk War, completely fucking ignore the incredible work I've done for the industry. I'm the greatest anime YouTuber. If you don't think so, fuck you. That's the end. Sayonara,
I'm the greatest
Mina-san.
anime YouTuber. If you don't think so, fuck you. That's the end. Sayonara, Mina-san. I mean, facts, but also you didn't have to say it like that. You know. Okay, I've got to fucking piss again. What should I put on while I do that? Shit. Let's just go to Sparky's World. It's already there in the thing. And I said you should subscribe. So here's Sparky talking about Sonic CD for
It's a soundtrack. It really isn't very surprising. It's quite a clean fusion of their musical styles, particularly in the way that the melodies. Wait, hold on. Did I forget to talk about the music of Sonic CD? Jesus Christ, what am I even doing over here? Now, we all know Sonic CD's got some banging music. It's one of the most cherished soundtracks in a series with more cherished soundtracks than good games. But I feel like it's another one of those things we just say without giving too much thought. Like it's just a natural fact of the universe that doesn't need to be explained or understood further. Shout out to Liam Triforce doing his thing. This video is an excellent resource for getting a grasp on the broad strokes of what makes this music tick. But there is a real story here that's all too often ignored. And funnily enough, that story begins on the Sega Master System. The 8-bit Sonic 2 is a pretty underappreciated side-scroller in the series. It's a ton of fun, and really distinct amongst 2D Sonic games. But most importantly for our purposes, the game has a really excellent soundtrack. Following the first game's stellar Yuzo Koshiro score, there was a lot of pressure on the sound team to match that high pedigree. At least I assume there was. Sonic 2 was one of the very first Sega projects for two very talented and very young composers, Naofumi Hataya and Masafumi Ogata. And they brought a pretty unique flavor to the game, I think. There's this heavy, driving percussion, almost a beatbox, supporting every track. It's all a little less tuneful than usual, maybe more grounded and understated, but with a really excellent sense of melody when it counts. The final piece of the game is just spectacular. You spend this entire adventure dying and struggling through these crazy puzzles and boss fights, only to finally reach the end and be hit with something so bittersweet. It's one of the most somber, lonely 8-bit compositions I've ever heard. From that very first time, I've never forgotten it. Even considering the excellent compositional work on 8-bit Sonic 2, which is honestly good enough to rival even the real Sonic 2, this was still decidedly old-school platform game music. The kind of stuff that didn't sound out of place streaming out of your tinny Game Gear speakers. And that's fine, that's what they were going for. But I can't even imagine how Hataya and Ogata must have felt when they got the call that they would not only be assigned to a main series Sonic title, but a revolutionary CD-based project with one of the biggest sound budgets ever dedicated to a video game. Were they excited? Were they terrified? Who can say? All we know for sure is it was an awkward adjustment for the duo. Originally, they opted to stick with the style they knew, simply bringing that same gamey energy to the CD format, even repurposing one of Sonic 2's old melodies to serve as the main theme. This approach was soundly rejected by Naoto.
I love that Shade asked that in chat, and then immediately the Sonic CD animation started playing.
Who demanded a new, robust sound that not only matched his vision for the game, but also made good use of the expanded hardware. Despite this, sharp-eared listeners will probably pick up on some lingering remnants from the old 8-bit days.
Yo, that track though. Whew. Okay, we have more super chats to address, and we're going to. Let me scroll back. Not a fan of the planet aside you landed on, better scroll back. All right, we did Kai. Now it's time for Shinbo in the early 2000s for 3 minutes, starting at 1:55. I don't know what's at timestamp 1:55, but I'm sure it's something. It's probably Nurse Witch Kamugi, knowing Luca. Let's see, 1:55.
No, is that the show was unbelievably offbeat.
Whoa. No. None of that sped up shit. This is a real video.
It's hard to even believe that something like it got funded for 13 whole episodes and even ran on television. It truly is characteristic of the post-Evangelion boom of weird original TV anime. Consider its contemporaries having been the likes of Nia Under 7, Boogie Pop Phantom, Brigadoon, Arjuna, figures...
Brigadoon. I see where this is going, Luca. I should probably get to the back to the where we are in chat and not be. You'll never guess. By the way, what a suite of shows here. Fucking watch all of these. If you like anime, watch all of these. Nia Under 7, Boogie Pop Phantom, Brigadoon, Arjuna, Figure 17,
and Haibane Renmei.
And Haibane Renmei. Watch all of those. Seriously. I don't even care if you like them. Watch them all.
The late 90s and early 2000s, you'll change as a human. Were a peak era of TV anime risk-taking, and most of those risks...
Also, The Soul Taker. Watch The Soul Taker. You'll be all like, Kisu tsuita hibe no mukou ni nani ga matsu no ka Soul Taker! And then you'll fucking do some shit.
Didn't really seem to lead to much reward. It would be difficult to imagine.
But I've already seen those. Well, you're in a real Pagliacci situation, right? Like, with this one.
Imagine that in the way
I'm not gonna sit here and find an anime you haven't seen. You're on the end of the spectrum of anime's over, move on. There's gotta be something else worth doing.
Of the Soul Taker, Shinbo would have been asked to make another thing like it anytime soon, which is the best reason I can think of for what he did next. For years, it would have been assumed that Shinbo had just blinked off the map for all of 2002 and most of 2003, until a discovery was made about a little-known director of 5 pornographic OVAs by the name of Juhachi Minamizawa, who was exclusively...
Oh no, this is the part you wanted, isn't it, Luca? You wanted me to get into the doity stuff.
Active during that 2-year period and is painfully obviously Shinbo if you look at anything that he directed. Indeed, over the course of these 2 years, Shinbo directed Sibling Secret, Blood Royale, Nurse...
Did not expect a Jam Project needle drop. It's only my favorite anime song of all time. Kisutsuita Ibino That was a much more serious attempt than my first one earlier. Pause for copyright. But then you gotta go as soon as I hit play. All right, are you ready to do that? Let me remind you. Okay. Yeah. This is the part where you get really serious. This is the part where it's like all 5 Jam projects singing at once, bringing you the fucking thunder. I saw this on my 17th birthday live at Otakon, and I'd be hard pressed to have a, like, other than maybe like seeing a few of my favorite national parks, I can't think of a better memory. Yeah, that song fucking rules. Nobody gonna tell me otherwise.
Smee, Temptation, and Swallowtail Inn. 5 of the most aesthetically unhinged and downright batshit crazy pornographic animations ever put to film.
all of the techniques that I talked about in Shinbo in the 90s show up in these OVAs. I can't help but imagine that Shinbo, having just completed The Soul Taker and gotten way into the idea of making an anime as visually unhinged as possible, turned to an industry that would let him get away with doing whatever the hell he wanted as long as it involved sex. So that's what he did. Each of these 5 OVAs goes speculation, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. I know the phrasing should make it clear, but just to be clear, that is speculation. Straight to the bottom when it comes to weird fetishes and fulfilling the stereotypes of what anime porn is all about. If you prefer your anime purely for the Brigadoon mention, okay. Yeah, this is a great video though. In terms of like video series that in the back of my head I feel guilty about not finishing, this is high on the list. But I also think I got through the part that was really important to me, which was like talking about Shinbo's work before he was famous. And the rest of it was more going to be about figuring out how little involvement Shinbo might have really had in the shows that he's credited with, like after being at Shaft. But that would take a lot more effort to prove. So I got sick of it. This is my favorite series in the main channel by you. It's up there. I mean, Shinbo is my favorite anime director. So like this was in many ways the most important project to me, but also going beyond this point would have required me to watch a bunch of other shit that wasn't Shinbo. Like my plan was to watch all of like Shin Onuma's shows, all of like each director, and like get a sense of what they do, and then be able to say like, okay, so here's what Shinbo brought to the show, here's what Onuma brought to the show, here's what this person brought. Because once you get with Shaft, it's not Shinbo. Like it is, but it's not. He's not the main voice, and like so much of what's attributed to him just isn't his ideas. And you know that because if you watch all the shit from the 90s and 2000s, it's all exactly the same. And then you get with Shaft and it's not exactly the same anymore, you know? So that was like the main thing I was hoping to prove when I got into that point. But again, that would require me to break down what specifically does Shin Onuma do, which means I have to watch all of his shows that Shinbo wasn't involved with and say, you know, here's the Shin Onuma stuff, here's the Shinbo stuff. Just to talk about like Panty Pony Dash, like just to talk about Panty Pony Dash, I'd have to watch, you know, like several other directors' entire catalogs, and I did not feel up to that at the time, is why I did not get any further into this. Like you can see, I say it's supposed to be 16 videos. That's how many I thought it would take to get through each part I wanted to do. And I got through 3. Maybe I'll get back to this someday because it is still one of the projects I care about. Like I kind of like letting enough time pass and just seeing like if like a year passes and I'm thinking, oh, I got to make this video. And then like at the end of that year, I'm like, that video, actually, I don't care about that idea anymore. That it's like, you know, but if it's been fucking 8 years and I'm still thinking, you know, I wouldn't mind finishing that Shaft video series, I feel like there's a little higher odds of this one getting continued than some of the other stuff. But I also could die tomorrow in a car accident, so there's a chance none of this ever gets finished. You know, keep your expectations low. All right, Flourish had said that they wanted the high idea about witches and witch hunts on Branches of Yig. Okay. Okay, I literally don't remember this.
Hello and welcome to another episode.
I think this is a pretty handsome. This is like the best looking Digibro. This is like recently started getting laid a lot Digibro. And you can see I got the sex hair. Like this is like, you know, in those anime hold on. No, come on. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is the aesthetic I was going for. Anime sex hair.
Episode of High Idea. This time we'll be talking about an idea that I had when I wasn't high, but it made
also my fucking big ass lips be looking. I look like fucking. I got them Dave Navarro big lips. You know what I'm talking about? They're probably not as big as Dave Navarro's lips, but lips always like pursed through the goatee type shit. You know, that like lips pursed through the
made
goatee.
more sense when I was high.
And since just making videos about totally random analytical ideas with no context is kind of weird, it's a lot funnier to put it inside of a series called Idea, where the idea is that I had the idea in the first place.
Fuck, Jesus Christ.
But you know, hopefully I don't have to face the fucking Spanish Inquisition about the fact that I made a weed joke in my video this time.
What's the Dochi lyric? I try to take the sober route and end up on a dead end. Now everything I joke about just ends up on a Reddit. That's exactly, every time I hear that bar, it takes me to exactly this point in time where I started smoking weed and I started getting all this shit about it. And it's like, to me, it was really funny and fun and like a thing I wanted to have fun with. And people are like, oh my God, you're smoking weed. And I'm like, God damn it. I just want to have fun with it.
Because you're not a bunch of fucking children. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the presentation of witch trials in anime and how I think it's bullshit when they try to incorporate the idea of like the fact that witch trials are bad, that it's this dark history where all these people
I remember what this is about now. Fuck. Yeah, like witch hunts would make sense if witches were real. That's the point I make in this video. Is like anime will always be like equating the idea of a witch hunt towards real witches with what witch hunts were historically, which was like just women being murdered for no fucking reason.
Wrongly killed in shows where there are actual witches. Like the whole reason to use the metaphor of the witch trials is that they were persecuting people who weren't actually witches. So to then have a show where there are witches being persecuted, it's like, well, then that just makes sense.
Like you were doing crack. I know. Well, you also have to remember, weed was just becoming legal in most of the United States. It's still not legal in a lot of the United. Hold on, let's pull up a weed legal map. Okay, so fully legal, all in the West Coast, right? So if you live in California, Washington, if you live in Oregon, you can get a fucking ounce for $20. An ounce of shake, it's not gonna be good, but it's you could get an ounce for $20. It'll be better than like fucking full priced weed in Kentucky, So all of this fully legal, Minnesota, Michigan. Now in 2017, it was not fully legal in New York. It was decriminalized, and that's where I lived at the time. So I was technically smoking it like I was, I was not buying it legally. There were not dispensaries to buy it at in New York at the time. When I moved to Boston was when they opened the first East Coast dispensary. So anything that's green at all here, Virginia still doesn't have recreational dispensaries. Like you have to drive up to DC before you'll find, like DC specifically has had them for fucking 5 years now. But like Virginia, despite it being fully legal, does not even have recreational dispensaries. An ounce of shake. Luna says, I know nothing about this. What you just call? Okay. So hold on. Let me see let's just Google. Okay. Okay. So like, this is not shake. This is just weed. But like when you grind this up, it will get to be a point of like really small, right? So like when you buy weed, typically it comes in full buds, but like when the people who are growing it, like when they're filling up their bags with buds, plenty of just like parts just get left behind, so that's the shake. So like if you're buying shake, you're just buying not full buds. It's basically just less aesthetic. It's kind of like if you buy the unaesthetic tomatoes that are like half the fucking price just because they look ugly, like that's buying shake. It's literally the same fucking weed. It's just not in a whole bud form. So like you can just buy oftentimes like a bag of random shake, from like various weeds for cheap, especially if it's not the best weed. But like, so a bag of shake where I am is at the low price of $100 for like decent, okay weed bag of shake. That same exact bag of weed would cost me $30 in Oregon because Oregon's where they grow all the weed. It's like pretty much Northern California and Oregon, right along the coast. Right here is where all the weed comes from, because this is just a perfect natural environment for it. You can have endless farms of it. There's people with just farms in their backyard, because you can own a huge plot of land here. This is mostly fucking empty nothingness. So like you can just buy fucking 12 acres of land for the price of a normal house somewhere else and grow weed on it up here. I do recommend this, by the way. And yeah, an ounce is a lot, as Sarah's pointing out. Like, even for me as like a pretty intense smoker, an ounce should last at least a week. If I'm by myself, I mean, it should last a week. It might not last a week with me, but that I'm abnormal. I'm what would be called a very heavy smoker. Anyway. I wasn't nearly as heavy as a smoker whenever I made this. October 2017, I would have literally just started smoking. Like, I got with May, we started smoking on like weekends and like a little bit more like this was when I first started making it like a habit.
You know, if there's a show full of evil witches being put to the stake, it's like, isn't that just because they're eliminating the actual evil magic users who are terrorizing the world? But then sometimes they try to make it look like this is a persecution thing. And it can be used in different ways, but I've been seeing this all the fucking time lately. Like, I brought this up in my Finish or Fail video when I was talking about that one fucking show about the beast people, the weird furry show that's airing right now, or aired last season, rather. I don't remember the fucking name of it. And then I was reading this older manga called Pilgrim Jaeger.
Sarah, you're still working on an ounce you bought more than a year ago? Damn. You definitely don't smoke like I do then.
I didn't get that.
I said Sarah and my phone thought I said Siri. I didn't even think I had Siri set up. Also, why is it a man? Also, why didn't it come up when I just said the name 3 more times? Okay, whatever.
Which takes place during that time period, and there are actual witches, and they're like, oh, we better not get persecuted, but it's like, but you're actually...
I feel like I made the point immediately, and now I'm just trying to make it like long enough to not be a video you'd forget instantaneously.
Actual witches doing actual, like, it was trying to present that message. But and then I was just watching episode 2 of Little Witch Academia, the second OVA, and that one, they have a witch trial festival where they like reenact the witch trials, which actually happened to real witches in this world. At least in that case, they're not trying to use it as like a metaphor or anything. They're not trying to present it as it was like this oppressive thing. Like they do say that witches were like persecuted and stuff. And in this show,
it's funny you mentioned that too, Sarah. Say, yeah, slow way the fuck down. Like I have a habit of like showing up to somewhere and realizing that someone has like undone drugs and just being like, do you need me to do those drugs for you? Like, like I will always show up and be like, you know, like, I notice you have some drugs. And they'll be, oh yeah, it's been sitting there for like 6 months. I'm like, can I do those drugs that you've got sitting there for 6 months real quick? Because I'll do them if you're not going to, you know, like I'll take the drug.
Witches don't seem to be evil, so I can see why that would be, you know, why it would still be a problematic event that happened, but that now they're just making light of it with a festival because, you know, it's in the past. It's fine. I'm not going to complain about that. But in other cases, like I don't get why this comes up so much. I guess just because when people think witches, they think witch trials. But like again, the drama of remembering the witch trial.
When we moved into this house, they're literally like, so the room that me and Bert are in, you saw it in the creative whatever, the practical creativity video. When we first went up to that room, there's a washer and dryer up there, and on the dryer was a bowl, like a small bowl with weed in it, and then like a tiny amount of bud in like a plastic container. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is there randomly a bowl with weed in it up here? And I called Victor. I was like, what's the deal with the weed? And he's like, oh yeah, mom left that here like 6 months ago. Literally was like 6 months or something. It'd been up there for a long time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to smoke that like now.
Trials is that witches were not real and people were dying for no reason. I'm repeating myself, but anyways, yeah, it's been driving me nuts just because I happened to.
I also did just repeat myself, basically, but I'm just needed you to know that was a true story.
It popping up like in all this shit I'm watching. It's really fucking weird that I've seen this many shows with witch trials. Fate Apocrypha started off with one of those, though I didn't really have anything to say about it.
Primordial bowl.
Yeah, it's a fucking weird.
I love when life offers you a free bowl, indeed. Indeed. Couple of free bowls, actually. Okay. I think that video made a good point, but I think that I was mostly just trying to, like, I brought up the examples in specific, but it didn't add anything to the point to do that. It was just a way to make the video longer and like justify the fact that I was bringing it up at all. I think I just had it in my head that like if a video is less than 3 minutes, nobody will care. But I could have turned on the camera and just said, you know, it doesn't make sense for it to be a witch hunt if there's actual witches. Like the meaning is different, and then I could have turned the fucking camera off, and that would have been that. But I know how I think. I know I felt it was imperative somehow to make the video feel satisfying. I already read this Trixie L post. Embracing girliness. That's the next one. Which was one of my first really big hit videos, and by far the one that pulled the most girls into my audience. Because I recently participated in a podcast. Oh my god, the fucking speed. Okay, so when did this come out? March 8th. So in January was when I had my first videos that were like, that had thousands of views, like a couple thousand views. I think that Observations on MLP, Pony Mating Habits, and Main 6 Ages, those two videos both like blew up fairly large, like right away, where they both had like over, I think, 50,000 views at least, which at the time was a lot. And especially for me as a brand new channel, this video blew up to like 30,000 views, but specifically through Tumblr. And all of my other videos had been successful through Reddit up to that point. It was always the r/MLP subreddit, or in the case of my two biggest videos, they had been posted to Equestria Daily. And this one was also posted to Equestria Daily, but it wasn't a hit through Equestria Daily. It was a hit, which was like the big, pony fan site that I ended up writing for a couple months after this, was when I started doing, I started collecting all the analysis videos and making posts, like collecting them for Equestria Daily, starting in like the summer of 2013 and going till probably the winter of 2013. And at some point I just quit because it was too much work to try to keep up with all the shit. But this was like the first video I had that just through posting it on Tumblr, it got reblogged like countless times. And it's because it was basically my rebuke to the fact that bronies were acting like the show is good in spite of being girly, when the whole thing that makes the show good is that it's good at being girly, instead of viewing girly as like an excuse to be shitty. Anyway, I'll make the point in the video. Also, you're going to hear me say femininity about 40 fucking times because I didn't realize that's not how you say the word. I recently participated in a podcast discussing the relationship between MLP fans and masculinity, during which an interesting point was brought to attention about the girliness that exists in MLP. Oh yeah, again, Crepuscular Bronies was a show with, there was a guy called ANY Pony, who was a German dude. So part of the reason that it was Crepuscular was that the times that he was online would be like very late for anybody else. And then Biter was his co-host, and Biter was, I don't know if this is still true, Biter